History's most colossal gaming spectacle, known as the King of Gamers, serves as the backdrop for these extraordinary events. Corporate leadership behind this massive competition extends an open invitation, urging global participation in their unprecedented venture. The executive promises that victory in their championship will grant complete ownership of the entire company, claiming this contest holds the power to transform every aspect of a participant's existence. Such overwhelming incentives have drawn countless millions of competitors from across the globe to enter the KOG Championship. Within a treacherous dungeon chamber, a monstrous creature collapses lifeless after receiving a precision laser blast directly through its skull. Our protagonist, identified as Marcus, surveys his surroundings before confirming that this beast represented their final obstacle. System notifications inform all contexts that dungeon completion grants them access to the ultimate competition phase. Marcus addresses his companions, acknowledging that a single remaining challenge rests between them and victory. Without warning, his body locks in place as excruciating agony tears through his entire being like liquid fire. The source of his unbearable suffering reveals itself as a blade driven deep into his chest, wielded not by any monster but by a fellow competitor. As shock begins to fade, Marcus discovers his attacker is none other than his trusted squad mate. He attempts to voice his confusion about this betrayal, but strength abandons him as he crumples helplessly. The betrayer explains his unwillingness to confront such a formidable adversary in the finals, requesting Marcus's underrexting of this personal decision. The traitor places full responsibility on Marcus's shoulders, citing excessive trust as the fatal weakness that led to this moment. Game notifications announce Marcus's elimination, yet his dying thoughts reject this conclusion to his journey with fierce determination. Moments later, consciousness returns amid cold perspiration as an airplane ceiling materializes above him, prompting a piercing scream. Examining his new environment, Marcus recognizes that reality has somehow shifted dramatically from his expectations. Rising from his seat to better assess his situation, he realizes his location within the aircraft designated for KOG's opening round, dubbed the 1000th Battlefield. Fellow passengers regard the protagonist with bewildered expressions as his erratic behavior draws unwanted attention. Marcus confronts another participant, demanding immediate clarification of the current date, month, and year with urgent intensity. The confused individual responds that today marks July 1st, 2020, coinciding with the tournament's inaugural round. This revelation sends Marcus into mental turmoil as he struggles to accept the impossible reality before him. Recognition dawns that he has somehow returned to the competition's opening day following his teammates' fatal betrayal. Overcome by powerful emotions, Marcus declares with absolute conviction that defeat will not claim him again. A muscular individual interrupts his passionate outburst by seizing his shirt collar, criticizing the excessive noise level. Drawing Marcus closer, the stranger demands future permission before any verbal outbursts disturb the peace. Marcus studies his confronter's features intently, his expression transforming dramatically and confusing his aggressor. Suddenly embracing the surprised man, Marcus addresses him as Rex, while recounting their previous first-round encounter. He mentions Rex's survival status in this timeline, causing Rex to push him away while questioning his strange behavior. Marcus realizes that temporal displacement means Rex lacks any memory of their future relationship, explaining his hostile reception. Memories surface of Rex's heroic sacrifice during a zombie siege, preserving Marcus and his allies' lives. Internal resolve strengthens as Marcus vows to prevent such tragedy from recurring. He offers partnership to Rex, noting that only 10 competitors among 1,000 will survive this round. Rex examines the extended hand briefly before swatting it aside, fixing Marcus with a threatening glare. He declares his preference for solo play, while aggressively questioning why trust should be extended. After brief consideration, Marcus withdraws, commenting that Rex's personality remains unchanged from their last meeting. Tournament preparations conclude as the aircraft's landing bay begins its gradual opening sequence. Equipped with his parachute, Marcus positions himself at the exit while addressing Rex with final confidence. Rex observes Marcus's self-assured display with blank incomprehension, seeking meaning in these peculiar actions. Marcus promises future reunion before launching himself into the deadly adventure awaiting below. System announcements report 3 minutes elapsed since round commencement, with 964 survivors remaining from the original 1,000 participants. Concealed behind rocky cover, a sniper maintains careful surveillance of his intended target. After several moments, he expresses contempt for his prey's pathetic behavior, confident that elimination will prove effortless. His target appears as a terrified newcomer, desperately scanning surroundings in blind attempts to identify approaching threats. The marksman concludes smugly that only inexperienced beginners populate this tournament, lacking proper gaming knowledge. With arrogant farewell words, he applies gentle pressure to his rifle's trigger mechanism. However, an unexpected shot destroys his protective helmet, sending the sniper crashing to the ground in defeat. Lying helpless on the earth, he comprehends that elaborate deception has ensnared him completely. Looking upward, he fixes his enemy with a menacing stare while struggling to articulate the shooter's identity. The marksman proves to be another competitor who utilized the apparent newcomer as human bait, forcing the sniper's exposure. The decoy advises his partner against wasting time, suggesting immediate execution followed by equipment looting. Sudden vehicular sounds behind them interrupt the planned execution, diverting attention from their wounded victim. A massive jeep emerges at maximum velocity, threatening to crush both players beneath its wheels. Marcus reveals himself as the driver, sarcastically requesting mercy for his novice driving skills. The former decoy attempts evasive maneuvers by leaping sideways, but Marcus's vehicle adjusts course, striking the enemy down. The impact victim crashes into a nearby wooden crate, his lifeless form creating a thunderous collision. His surviving accomplice stares in horror at his companion's corpse while removing his weapon's safety mechanism. Aiming toward the jeep, he begins screaming hysterically while unleashing deadly gunfire. Marcus effortlessly avoids the projectiles by abandoning his vehicle, mockingly questioning the enemy's marksmanship. The player regards Marcus with amazement, incredulous at his uninjured escape from the moving car. Renewed firing attempts target Marcus's position, but the protagonist easily evades each shot while advancing rapidly. Upon reaching his opponent, Marcus immediately drives his blade through the enemy's heart, achieving in-rex termination. Marcus inspects his victim's remains as the system credits him with 200 points for dual target elimination. The protagonist acknowledges that their equipment will serve him well in upcoming confrontations. He appropriates their armor and weaponry, reloading the rifle while attaching holographic targeting, Asai Rex. Preparation complete, Marcus reflects that this engagement served merely as preliminary exercise compared to his previous challenges. The wounded sniper observes these events, requesting medical supplies while suggesting Marcus's need for capable future allies. Marcus turns to examine the injured marksman, conducting a thorough assessment of his potential value. Reaching his decision, Marcus agrees that powerful allies represent a genuine necessity for success. Marcus extends his hand while the sniper secretly draws a concealed pistol, preparing to eliminate the protagonist. However, Marcus suddenly relaxes his grip, allowing a hidden blade to slide from his sleeve. Marcus declares his rejection of such treacherous allies before delivering a lightning-fast fatal strike. Additional points accumulated, Marcus determines that acquiring truly reliable companions has become essential. Meanwhile, tournament broadcasts announce new regulations permitting participation using only personal identity verification. Rather than deterring participants, this change attracts numerous professional gaming specialists to the competition. Commentary explains that KOG competitors earn points through enemy elimination and supplementary quest completion. The announcer details point exchange systems for various resources, noting Marcus's current leadership position. Broadcast audiences examine Marcus's portrait with curiosity, speculating about his identity and professional gaming background. Viewers universally admit unfamiliarity with Marcus's reputation, puzzled by his impressive point accumulation. Meanwhile, cameras focus on the sniper's girlfriend as an intruder enters her territorial zone. This trespasser reveals himself as Marcus, who notices the armed woman and attempts to avoid her incoming fire. Taking careful aim, she pronounces the intruder's doom before smoothly engaging her weapon's trigger. Marcus barely escapes destruction by seeking cover behind a modest fence, but his helmet remains visible to the shooter. Amused by such carelessness, she thanks Marcus for the easy target before firing again. The projectile pierces the exposed helmet cleanly, yet no elimination confirmation reaches the girl. She stares forward in bewilderment, questioning how such an outcome remains possible. The helmet falls away, revealing Marcus's deceptive use of a branch to create this elaborate trap. She acknowledges her mistake in revealing her position, recognizing the urgent need for immediate relocation. However, Marcus identifies her location and ascends through a second-story window with remarkable speed. The girl fires hastily toward the protagonist while shouting for Marcus to depart for the afterlife. The protagonist evades her bullets while arrogantly informing her that her movements lack sufficient speed. Exploiting her empty ammunition clip, Marcus circles behind her position and renders her unconscious with a precise palm strike. She loses consciousness and begins falling, but Marcus prevents her collision with the stone flooring. Observing his opponent, Marcus notes her unchanged nature and persistent weakness in close-quarters combat. After some time passes, consciousness returns as she discovers Marcus nearby, expressing satisfaction at her awakening. Recognizing her suspended position, she demands immediate release from her restraints. The protagonist assures her that virtual reality eliminates brain hemorrhage risks, permitting indefinite suspension without physical consequences. She concedes defeat, suggesting that if execution is his intention, he should proceed without hesitation. Marcus addresses her as Luna, commenting that the CG Squad's strongest member deserves better than such inglorious termination. Luna informs Marcus of her departure from CG Squad long ago. Marcus responds calmly that he possessed this knowledge, identifying himself as her greatest admirer. She closes her eyes, swaying gently on the rope while patiently awaiting relevant conversation. The protagonist offers Luna immediate freedom in exchange for accepting his proposed agreement. She inquires about his deal's nature, receiving his request for alliance and partnership. The girl suggests execution as preferable to team membership, declaring her permanent refusal of group participation. These words trigger memories of past mockery regarding her appearance and behind-the-scenes manipulation by former associates. Marcus interrupts Luna's traumatic recollections by dismissing all her previous allies as complete fools. He claims to represent their complete opposite, possessing subrextial capabilities to counter their inadequacies. The protagonist declares his status as an exceptionally skilled player with unmatched abilities. Luna requests that Marcus cease his pretense of comprehensive knowledge, asserting that all males share identical motivations, focused more on her availability than her gaming expertise. Marcus examines Luna's suspended form closely, commenting that her current angle provides an excellent view. Luna swings backward to deliver a forceful headbutt, angrily questioning Marcus's inappropriate staring. Marcus absorbs the impact while noting that Luna's fiery temperament remains completely unchanged. Luna tells Marcus to abandon his pretense of familiarity while suggesting immediate execution if that remains his intention. Marcus smiles and declares his commitment to personal methodology, moving closer to the helpless Luna. He produces a knife while informing the girl that her recruitment will occur regardless of her preferences. He questions Luna's assumption about his lethal intentions while making small cuts to her chest garment. Luna screams in terror and revulsion, demanding to know the protagonist's true objectives. Marcus leans closer, noting that hundreds of millions observe this round currently, with hundreds of thousands watching specifically. Luna stares blankly at Marcus while requesting clarification of his meaning. The protagonist explains that refusing to join his squad will result in audience exposure to complimentary adult entertainment. With these words, he faces the camera directly, requesting viewers to type sixes in chat if they desire such content. Marcus turns toward Luna, offering brief consideration time before she agrees to join his team. Marcus then severs the rope, causing Luna to plummet toward the stone floor below. However, Marcus catches her safely, preventing her fall while disappointing crowds demanding more extreme action. Marcus regards Luna with satisfaction, instructing her to treat him with kindness and pleasant demeanor. Luna avoids eye contact with the protagonist while demanding immediate ground placement. Marcus releases Luna, causing her to strike the floor heavily in an ungraceful landing. After cutting remaining restraints, she rises and displeasedly informs the protagonist that she requested placement, not abandonment. Marcus returns Luna's rifle, acknowledging her close combat limitations while praising her marksmanship abilities. He approaches the window, suggesting resource gathering and location abandonment as their next objectives. Luna shouts for Marcus to slow down, causing him to turn with surprise at her unexpected objection. The girl aims her rifle at him, noting his excessive trust in others as a dangerous weakness. She targets him while questioning his apparent fearlessness when facing weapon threats. Marcus expresses confidence that Luna's promises carry absolute reliability, preventing any betrayal. He recalls his previous defeat at her hands before his rebirth, when she acknowledged his skills while asserting her superiority. Then, similar to Luna's current position, he had challenged her to proceed with execution if that was her intention. However, Luna had offered him team membership in a supporting role instead. Marcus had regarded Luna with identical disbelief, unable to comprehend what prevented his immediate elimination. Nevertheless, Luna had explained that her promises carried absolute reliability, preventing any breach of her word. With these words, Luna's smile became permanently etched in the protagonist's memory, providing hope through her unexpected kindness. Meanwhile, in the present timeline, Luna lowers her weapon while commenting on Marcus's peculiar nature and incomprehensible thought processes. Marcus unfolds the map, explaining that considerable information about his past and current circumrexes remains unknown to her. He describes their current location's safe zone, which will continue shrinking, receiving Luna's confirmation of her rule familiarity. Marcus continues his explanation by marking the map, predicting the next safe zone's exact center location. Luna dismisses this as mere speculation, citing random generation that prevents advanced knowledge of future zones. However, the new safe zone materializes precisely as Marcus predicted, leaving Luna wondering how such accuracy remains possible. Marcus celebrates internally, confirming his perfect memory while noting everything proceeds according to his master plan. Luna questions Marcus about his detailed knowledge, suspecting potential cheat software usage. Marcus denies any lifetime history of gaming cheats while tossing his knife airborne in demonstration. Catching the blade, Marcus strikes a heroic pose while declaring himself a living cheat code. Luna looks downward embarrassedly, attempting to comprehend her new ally's nonsensical statements. However, Marcus quickly approaches her, covering her mouth to prevent unnecessary sound production. Upon removing his hand from Luna's face, she questions his actions while he signals for silence. Marcus peers through the window, announcing detected presence while observing approaching player groups. He informs Luna that teamwork testing time has arrived against these incoming opponents. Luna notes their numerical disadvantage of 2.5 to 1, suggesting trouble avoidance, while he dismisses this as mere warm-up exercise. The players conduct area reconnaissance, with one member advising their captain about potential ambush dangers. The captain responds that the location appears abandoned, ordering resource search deployment while asserting that no one would dare attack their 5-person group. Following these words, the captain's skull receives a bullet from the supposedly abandoned building, penetrating completely. Panic spreads among players as one shouts instructions for cover-seeking and defensive positioning. Turning around, he discovers Marcus's aerial approach, the protagonist having selected blade combat for this encounter. Other players attempt warning shouts about the approaching danger, but Marcus eliminates his target with incredible speed. Surviving players coordinate their response, declaring elimination time for this show-off while initiating indiscriminate fire. Marcus easily evades the projectiles by reaching the nearest stone shelter through rapid movement. Finding minimal safety, he questions internally why their reaction time appears so dramatically slow. A second later, precise headshot execution eliminates another player, confirming their confrontation with multiple opponents. Luna secures an advantageous shooting position, providing Marcus with accurate covering fire that drives enemies into defensive corners. One player curses his misfortune loudly while instructing his ally to maintain low profile and await Asirex. He recognizes their unfortunate tactical situation and suggests immediate retreat, but Marcus suddenly grasps his face. The player's final perception involves Marcus positioning a blade against his throat. A split second later, the player's lifeless form collapses beside the final survivor, completely destroying his composure. He chooses flight over fight, hastily retreating while abandoning his former teammates' corpses. Luna descends to ground level, observing the enemy's escape while Marcus inquires about pursuit intentions. Luna calmly asserts the fugitive's inability to escape her range, raising her rifle for careful targeting. She eliminates the fleeing player with a precision shot, earning Marcus's comment that such results meet professional expectations for her skill level. Luna requests that Marcus avoid flattery, since her performance resulted primarily from Marcus's attention-diverting tactics. She additionally notes that their opponents demonstrated weaker capabilities than usual Rex dards. Marcus becomes contemplative while counting his blade-based elimination total. Luna questions his exclusive melee weapon usage, noting that his abilities could easily secure firearm access. Marcus explains multiple reasons for this choice, clarifying that blade eliminations provide double point values. At this moment, system notifications appear before both heroes, announcing Marcus's achievement for 10 consecutive melee eliminations, rewarding him with a unique title and mystical treasure container. Luna studies the notification text with disbelief, while Marcus performs theatrical gestures during his self-introduction. He explains that KOAJ contains numerous hidden achievements that provide completion rewards for players. Luna expresses amazement at Marcus's knowledge of such concealed tournament information, questioning his true identity. Marcus promises to reveal everything about himself shortly while opening the treasure container. He examines the contents carefully, scarcely believing what his eyes reveal. Luna, meanwhile, develops intense curiosity about the reward, asking Marcus about the chest's contents. Marcus responds that the container holds an incredibly powerful and rare weapon system. Luna accepts this explanation and begins voicing interested speculation about the weapon type. Marcus confirms that the chest contains something truly remarkable before extracting a collapsible spear. Lifting it overhead, he extends the spear fully while deciding to test its operational capabilities. He begins side-to-side movements, informing Luna about this weapon's unusual and unique characteristics. Luna correctly deduces that this spear can be preserved for future use beyond the current round's conclusion. Luna comments that such permanence requires Marcus's survival until the subsequent round begins. She adds that universal firearm access makes spear combat equivalent to deliberate suicide. Marcus counters that this represents no ordinary spear, but rather a system gift, eliminating any possibility of trinket status. He explains that this weapon bears the name Nine Tails, suggesting 9 distinct operational forms based on its designation. With this explanation, he accesses the spear's integrated interface to browse all available configurations. Marcus decides to spend 500 points unlocking a new spear form that transforms the weapon into a bow. Following the bow upgrade purchase, Marcus observes his spear's metamorphosis into a sophisticated composite archery weapon. Marcus explains that automatic arrow generation represents one of the bow configuration's most valuable capabilities, providing crucial assistance during resource-scarce situations. The protagonist draws back the bowstring, deciding to evaluate the weapon's lethal potential against a nearby boulder. He emphasizes that survival, rather than elimination count, holds paramount importance in this round, with the bow's nearly silent firing mechanism offering significant tactical advantages. Luna witnesses the bow's projectiles effortlessly obliterating a massive stone formation, expressing profound amazement at its destructive capacity. Marcus reflects internally that during his previous lifetime, the quest-completing player never obtained the Nine-Tails weapon system. Luna expresses desire for similar armament acquisition, questioning the protagonist about obtaining such exceptional rewards. Marcus responds that universal availability would eliminate the special nature of these extraordinary prizes. Meanwhile, system announcements inform all participants about an active Fox Hunt event targeting Marcus, where his position becomes visible to everyone, with elimination rewards of 1,000 points. The notification explains that Marcus's survival for 24 hours will transfer the victory reward to him instead. Luna studies the announcement carefully before commenting with surprise that Marcus has become the target of a genuine manhunt. The heroes access their map interface, immediately discovering Marcus's location displayed as a prominent marker. Learning about Marcus's bounty, Rex and his hastily assembled team decide to pursue him for the sub-Rextial point reward. Additionally, professional competitor Alexis initiates pursuit of Marcus, feeling insulted by the protagonist's enigmatic behavior. Meanwhile, Marcus and Luna race their jeep at maximum velocity, while Marcus informs his companion that departure opportunities remain available, given her newfound proximity to danger. Luna responds calmly that such reasoning provides an extremely inadequate justification for abandoning an ally. She jokingly adds that emergency circumrexes could allow her to claim those 1,000 points personally by eliminating Marcus herself. Marcus grins while inquiring about Luna's genuine motivations for remaining. Luna laughs authentically, reassuring the protagonist that her comments were purely humorous, and he need not worry. After considerable travel time, Marcus engages the brake system, announcing their arrival at their intended destination. Surveying their surroundings, Luna discovers their target location consists of an unusual stone construction serving mysterious functions. When Luna inquires about the building's nature, Marcus identifies it as a bunker that will simultaneously function as his prepared trap mechanism. Luna accompanies Marcus, cautiously approaching the entrance steps while questioning his intended trap design. Marcus turns toward Luna, promising that direct observation will soon reveal everything to her. Meanwhile, Rex's squad races toward the protagonist's position using multiple vehicles at top speed. Consulting the map interface, Rex expresses surprise that Marcus's marker has remained stationary for 2 hours, suspecting he has secured himself within some defensive structure. Nearing Marcus's coordinates, one of Rex's teammates notices an abandoned vehicle, observing its conspicuous parking placement. Another squad member approaches Rex, suggesting that numerous internal traps likely await them, potentially creating serious complications. Rex's remaining companions agree with this assessment, noting that only the actual killer will receive points while others gain nothing. Rex declares their brotherhood, expressing indifference about which team member achieves the elimination, before volunteering to neutralize all traps for his allies' safety. He adds that risk-averse individuals never celebrate victory, proceeding toward the bunker while inviting others to follow and provide backup support. Rex and his complete squad conduct casual reconnaissance while unknowingly triggering surveillance equipment installed throughout the bunker interior. Marcus monitors Rex's approach, expressing satisfaction at his arrival, since it eliminates search time requirements. Luna questions Marcus about Rex's identity, receiving promises of future explanations while being encouraged to enjoy the upcoming spectacle. Luna comments that only Marcus could maintain such composure despite an entire server population hunting him actively. Addressing the collection of defeated enemies, Luna suggests that Marcus's capabilities appear suspiciously similar to cheat software usage. Advancing deeper, Rex's team encounters the previously eliminated players, causing some members to panic and advocate immediate evacuation. However, at that precise moment, the entrance door slams shut, trapping them within an ominous chamber. Rex attempts to calm his allies while wondering how Marcus manipulates the game's environmental trap systems. Suddenly, a wall-mounted display activates, revealing Marcus wearing a concealing mask. Rex demands that the protagonist cease hiding and engage in honorable combat, receiving a proposal for game participation instead. With these words, ventilation systems begin releasing gas into the chamber, while Marcus explains that this sub-Rex will gradually deplete all players' health points, noting that their medical supplies can temporarily delay these effects. Marcus announces a 10-minute countdown before door release, beginning his elaborate game announcement, but shotgun blasts destroy the communication screen. Rex declares his exhaustion with pretentious speeches, affirming his confidence in his team's capabilities. He retrieves medical equipment, instructing his companions to form two groups, one seeking escape routes while the other manages medical supplies through rotational sharing to ensure collective survival. However, his teammates remain motionless, staring at him in stunned silence while Rex questions their inactivity. One companion questions Rex about sharing necessity, claiming sufficient personal medical supplies for individual survival. Following these declarations, someone delivers a precisely aimed fatal shot through this selfish player. The killer targets his victim's head, declaring that she no longer requires these medical resources. Luna observes the camera feeds with bewilderment, unable to comprehend the immediate onset of internal fighting, while Marcus removes his mask, acknowledging Rex's strategic and gaming abilities. However, Marcus believes Rex underestimates human nature's fundamental and unchangeable characteristics. Rex approaches his dying companion, unable to provide timely medical assistance as he watches the teammate vanish completely. Enraged, he confronts the killer, demanding explanations for his actions after murdering their partner. The traitor argues that preserving only the strongest represents more logical strategy than allowing universal death, suggesting Rex should recognize their medical supplies' inadequacy for 10-minute survival. He proposes that eliminating half their number guarantees the survivors' successful escape. He clarifies that these individuals represent neither brothers nor allies, merely expendable resources. But Rex interrupts this reasoning with a forceful facial blow. Rex declares his permanent refusal to sacrifice allies for temporary advantages, regardless of their provisional nature. The killer labels Rex excessively trusting before multiple gunshots strike his back. The projectiles impact Rex's armored sections, sending him to the ground while maintaining life. Rex clutches his wounds, unable to accept his companion's willingness to betray him so readily. The assassin rises, explaining that loyalty never existed, eliminating any possibility of betrayal, adding that their alliance formed purely based on his strength. He positions his weapon against Rex's head, condemning his stupidity for trusting companions who merely exploited him before abandoning him. Following these events, Marcus reappears on another display, applauding the players while expressing his impressed reaction. He acknowledges their rapid discovery of victory's only viable solution, opening the stone barrier while granting their freedom. Rex's former allies inform him that conflict resolution permits his solitary death from poison exposure and complete isolation. With these parting words, they turn toward the exit, advancing collectively toward liberation. The new leader additionally threatens lethal retaliation against anyone attempting Rex's rescue or Rex. Luna, monitoring these developments, concludes that internal warfare has indeed erupted among them. Turning toward Marcus, she discovers him heading for the exit while questioning his destination. Marcus opens the doors, announcing the time for harvesting his labor's rewards. The Betrayer squad continues careful navigation through the darkened corridor, while their leader reminds them to avoid trap activation. After some progression, they reach the bunker's second-floor staircase where Marcus awaits them, offering polite greetings. The traitor gang's leader aims his weapon at Marcus, suggesting the protagonist has grown weary of existence through such open confrontation. Marcus advises against reckless firearm discharge within their current location. One player notices gasoline spread across the flooring, warning that weapons fire could ignite the flammable sub-Rex. The leader becomes enraged, accusing Marcus of promise violations by leading them into additional trap mechanisms. Marcus produces a Molotov cocktail, explaining the leader's misinterpretation of his previous statements. The protagonist hurls the incendiary device, clarifying that granting departure permission never implied living survivors. Players observe the approaching firebomb while attempting lateral evasion to avoid the gasoline pool, but their movement speed proves insufficient. The chamber temporarily fills with agonizing screams from burning individuals, desperately seeking escape from their fiery torment. Marcus observes these events while receiving continuous system elimination notifications and point awards, followed by achievement announcements for consecutive fire-based kills of 5 or more targets, earning him a mysterious treasure container and the unique BBQ Master designation. Marcus enthusiastically claims the container, celebrating his new title acquisition through a single incident. Tournament spectators express incredible amazement that Marcus eliminated 10 players using only one Molotov cocktail. Viewers begin suspecting Marcus of cheating due to his acquisition of 2 unique titles within a single round. Leading media representatives question one of the tournament's creators about addressing viewer doubts concerning Marcus. An individual named Chen Jing responds that COG represents a completely fair global competitive video game where cheat usage remains impossible, requesting rational viewer perspective on the situation. Meanwhile, the traitor leader emerges from the burned corpse pile, declaring his survival and determination to achieve victory even through universal betrayal. He continues crawling with one functional hand before someone's legs appear within his vision. Looking upward, he discovers Rex observing his former squadmate with deep disappointment. He grasps Rex's leg, pleading for mercy while claiming brotherhood, but Rex ignores these appeals and seizes his hand. Rex lifts the traitor above himself, informing him that his game has reached its conclusion. With these words, he retrieves his knife, swiftly eliminating the traitor while sarcastically addressing him as brother. Marcus greets Rex again, expressing joyful certainty about their reunion. Rex addresses Marcus, acknowledging his recognition while questioning his current needs. Marcus confirms Rex's correct memory before leaping from the second floor toward him. However, he miscalculates the game's fall damage mechanics, landing heavily at Rex's feet. Recovering his position on the floor, he admits momentary carelessness regarding this round's regulations. However, intimate conversation beginnings are interrupted by Luna's well-aimed kick to Marcus's face. She begins attacking him, complaining that Marcus could have reserved some opponents for her point acquisition, while Rex expresses surprise at his defeat by these adversaries. Marcus informs Rex that they defeated themselves while he exerted minimal effort. Rex fails to comprehend this meaning, freezing with confusion. Marcus reveals that the chamber's gas maintained extremely low concentration levels, insufficient for lethal effects even without medical intervention. He explains that faithful companion adherence to his strategy would have ensured universal survival. Rex laughs heartily, surprised by his delayed realization while noting that victory represents everyone's sole motivation here. He acknowledges Marcus's victory, granting him every right to proceed with elimination. Marcus responds that the Rex he knew would never surrender or accept such predetermined fate. Rex again requests that the protagonist abandon pretenses of mutual familiarity since no such relationship exists. Marcus recounts the legend of a mysterious player called the Raging Tiger who fought like a meteor, adding that Rex possesses more knowledge about him than anyone else. Rex clenches his fist, expressing surprise that anyone else remembers the rampaging tiger's ghostly presence. Luna approaches Marcus, whispering that this represents the player who eliminated the top 7 national competition participants before vanishing without trace. Marcus draws his spear, declaring the stupidity of allowing someone like Rex to perish here while proposing combat, adding that victory will secure Rex's team membership. Rex accepts, warning the protagonist against future mercy pleas. Luna restrains Marcus, informing him that genuine raging tiger confrontation guarantees their defeat. Marcus agrees with Luna while questioning alternative options beyond combat engagement. Without awaiting responses, he charges into battle, declaring that avoiding attempts guarantees failure. Rex's memories transport him 10 years backward to virtual reality's emergence during a national competition's finals. The commentator announces the Red Corner's great champion, nicknamed the Holy Fire Sword Quan. Quan's opponent, according to commentary, represents a newcomer to competitive gaming, bearing the nickname Ghost of a Raging Tiger. Quan tells himself about his unfamiliarity with this name, anticipating incredibly easy victory. Following all preparatory procedures, the tournament finale commences with fight initiation signals displayed within the arena. Quan launches his assault but suffers miserable defeat within merely 19 seconds of the opening round to the underdog. Disbelieving these events, Quan leaps from his seat, screaming at his monitor with pure rage. The host announces with theatrical elegance that Quan suffered defeat in just 19 seconds to their new champion. With this declaration, he indicates young Rex, proclaiming the current champion as the ghost of the raging tiger. The crowd begins enthusiastically chanting Rex's nickname while he raises his hand skyward, basking in victorious glory. Returning to present Rex's, he clenches his fist while mentally questioning his ability to reclaim such glory. Meanwhile, Marcus shouts for attention maintenance while charging toward him with his spear. Rex recovers his focus timely, retrieving his machete to deflect the protagonist's assault. Marcus acknowledges Rex's unchanged strength from previous times, receiving confirmation that he proved no weakling either. The heroes continue exchanging rapid strikes, but neither achieves their objective. Marcus responds that without extensive training, he could never maintain such duration, especially against such formidable opposition. Meanwhile, Rex decides on definitive conclusion, launching airborne to execute his powerful Tiger Kick attack. Marcus manages last-moment blocking but flies sideways at high velocity, unable to counter the impact's kinetic energy. Luna observes Marcus's trajectory, hoping she won't need to collect his body fragments from the wall. Rex declares that no one could withrex such force, prematurely claiming victory. However, Marcus, despite serious injuries, rises to his feet, announcing Rex's approaching end. With these words, he transforms the spear configuration into bow form, greatly surprising Rex. Marcus leaps airborne, targeting Rex precisely while noting that evasion becomes impossible at this range. A split second later, Marcus fires a shot that pierces through Rex at incredible velocity before striking the wall. Rex regains awareness, realizing the arrow merely grazed his face without causing additional damage. Marcus acknowledges the unfairness of unexpected bow usage, proposing a draw while expressing hope for Rex's eventual squad membership. Rex pauses, reconsidering Marcus's proposition through careful evaluation. After brief contemplation, he accepts Marcus's handshake, gladly agreeing to the invitation. The heroes embrace fraternally, while Marcus joyfully addresses Rex as brother, receiving Baby Marcus designation in return. Luna, witnessing this scene, suggests concluding their activities for the day. Rex draws Marcus aside, inquiring about this charming lady's identity. Luna prepares self-introduction, but Rex interrupts, questioning the protagonist about potential romantic involvement. Luna responds irritably that they maintain purely allied relationships, while Marcus explains her sniper role. Rex thoughtfully questions Marcus about her female player status, prompting Luna to immediately aim her weapon at him while questioning his objections. Rex quickly disclaims any negative thoughts, acknowledging female gaming competence before requesting weapon lowering. However, this confrontation receives interruption from a shot impacting near Rex's leg, causing the heroes to locate the shooter. They discover pursuit by Alexis's squad fighters, seeking rewards for Marcus's elimination. Three individuals enter the bunker, declaring their intention to claim the point prize. Luna accuses Marcus of carelessness, suggesting quiet departure rather than ceremonial combat engagement. Marcus responds that Luna need not worry since he prepared contingency plans for such situations. Rex addresses Marcus, expressing intense curiosity about his devised strategy. The protagonist reveals his extremely simple plan, consisting of rapid battlefield evacuation before departing with incredible speed. Luna and Rex follow his example, noting his delayed announcement timing while hunters advance deeper into the bunker, seeking their quarry. Near the bunker exterior, Alexis observes developments through binoculars, commenting on increasingly interesting developments. Alexis's Rex suggests that inaction will certainly allow someone else to capture Marcus. Alexis responds with serious doubts about his subordinate's ability to eliminate Marcus successfully. He observes that multiple player groups have entered this bunker without returning, suggesting extensive internal trap systems. From Alexis's perspective, Marcus must eventually emerge outdoors due to convexly shifting safe zones. Alexis's Rex acknowledges his truly professional gaming status through such tactical under-rexting. Alexis concludes his reasoning by noting that even without capturing Marcus, they will definitely encounter him during the genuine hunt. Meanwhile, hunters search the bunker for fugitives, commenting on their potential concealment anywhere. Suddenly, room illumination ceases, prompting hunters to advise mutual vigilance due to numerous local traps. The blackout's cause reveals itself as Marcus, announcing their transition to offensive operations. Rex and Luna note that darkness provides minimal assistance since they cannot observe opponents either. Marcus, having acquired night vision equipment, approaches Luna for examination while claiming perfect visibility. Disapproving of Marcus's opposite-sex communication methods, Luna delivers a powerful facial blow, sending him flying several meters backward. She dons her night vision equipment, adding that Marcus's possession of such gear doesn't authorize inappropriate staring. Rex claims never finding similar equipment, questioning the protagonist about acquiring 3 pairs of such devices. Marcus attributes this to exceptional luck while mentally believing they should remain within the bunker temporarily. Luna observes that Marcus maintains so many secrets that she wouldn't surprise herself if he produced firearms from his pockets. Rex tells the protagonist they share common circumrexes, questioning their plans for those seeking their elimination. Marcus announces killing time while retrieving his weapon and selecting its bow configuration. 2 hunters navigate the darkness while one mentions their numerous concerns, receiving advice from her ally to avoid such troubling thoughts. However, he then requests her contact information for future real-world entertainment possibilities. No response reaches the unsuccessful hunter, prompting him to search for his companion's whereabouts. Closer examination reveals the huntress's death from temple arrow impact, her body lying on stone flooring. The hunter leans over her corpse angrily, noting she could have provided her contact information before dying. A split second later, Marcus approaches the hunter, impaling him with his spear for in-rexed elimination. Extracting his spear, Marcus surveys surroundings for additional opponents. After receiving 100 points for melee elimination, Marcus observes that even gaming contexts require serious commitment for victory. Following hunter equipment searches, the protagonist expresses surprise that despite being newly formed, their armament remains quite primitive. Absorbed in this process, he fails to notice approaching hunters who suppress him with concentrated fire. Several seconds later, one player suffers fatal forehead shot from an unknown sniper position. Recognizing sniper targeting, hunters seek nearest shelter while Luna declares her glorious moment's arrival. All hunters conceal themselves behind wooden pallets, providing the protagonist recovery opportunity and attack initiation. Marcus decides to exploit this pause for offensive action, advising Luna to exercise caution. Hunters emerge from cover, noting excessive quiet and deciding on stealthy withdrawal attempts. However, a second later, Marcus leaps onto wooden pallets, questioning whether they seek him. Hunters attempt escape, but he grasps their necks, choking them until death occurs. Marcus again receives enhanced points, celebrating additional rewards for melee weapon eliminations. Marcus becomes excessively absorbed, allowing one hunter to swing a crowbar while claiming reward ownership. However, Rex interrupts by driving his powerful machete through the hunter's back. He informs Marcus about his excessive wildness, recommending greater caution. Marcus responds that maintaining calm behavior proves extremely difficult within this gaming environment. Without warning, brilliant illumination from a wrist-mounted lamp pierces through one of the shadowed passages, temporarily blinding them. The protagonists gaze toward this radiance while questioning the nature of this mysterious object. A hunter squadron enters the chamber, their commander declaring that illumination will enable Marcus's defeat. In Rexley, their portable lighting device shatters under precise sniper rifle fire. The hunters observe their destroyed flashlight with terror before immediate panic ensues. Luna watches their reactions with unconcealed bewilderment, labeling them complete fools. The hunter leader expresses shock at their lamp's destruction from simple gunfire, while his subordinates question his decision to elevate it prominently overhead. Within the darkness, hunters begin panicking and firing wildly at any movement, including their own teammates. Marcus and Rex seek protective cover while the protagonist proposes another friendly competition, given their previous draw outcome. Marcus suggests comparing elimination counts, receiving Rex's enthusiastic agreement. Following considerable time, the final hunter collapses lifeless as Marcus decides to restore illumination. Rex cleans his machete while questioning Marcus about their respective kill tallies. Marcus responds with a smile that unfortunately he ceased counting at a certain point. After area inspection, the heroes confirm bunker clearance, while system notifications announce 675 remaining survivors. Marcus still chooses to boast, claiming victory appears to favor him. However, a well-aimed energy drink can interrupt his modest display. Luna declares that honest fighting would have resulted in his defeat long ago while consuming from another container. Marcus counters that tactical planning governed his actions since no time existed for fair dueling. Rex observes that if other competitors demonstrate similar weakness, victory won't prove challenging. Marcus announces imminent safe zone relocation away from their current position. Luna notes their extensive elimination count, suggesting prolonged combat capability. Marcus responds that this game differs from genre peers due to exhausting battles, and direct safe zone positioning will complicate health restoration. He explains that players beyond safe zone boundaries face threats surpassing gas effects, guaranteeing trouble for those remaining outside. Luna regards the protagonist with surprise while questioning what could exceed gas dangers. Marcus turns toward Luna, revealing radiation as their round's threat. Rex questions Marcus about radiation versus poisonous gas differences. Marcus explains radiation's dramatic health reduction capabilities, with only specialized medications providing restoration, though additional properties exist. Luna suggests immediate departure rather than prolonged location maintenance. The girl prepares to leave, but Marcus grasps her hand, requesting patience. Luna addresses the protagonist, questioning his requirements. Marcus accesses the game map, explaining that while trap knowledge exists, no guarantees prevent other players from positioning near exit points. Luna argues against passive waiting for death. Marcus reassures her anxiety by revealing his contingency plan for such circumstances. Meanwhile, sunset approaches as starlit night descends upon the game environment. Alexis's subordinate informs his superior about imminent safe zone departure, questioning their continued presence certainty. Alexis confirms the fox remains inside, emphasizing their inability to abandon their rightful reward. Turning around, he notes safe zone contraction, eliminating extended waiting requirements. Alexis's associates begin suffering danger zone damage while he advises composure due to available medical supplies. One of Alexis's team members discovers medication ineffectiveness as health points continue declining. Alexis examines the pills, confirming his suspicions about non-Rexdard poisoning effects and more serious complications. One subordinate declares team membership for victory rather than death. He announces safe zone departure while others can remain until demise. Alexis grants his colleague freedom to choose departure or remaining. The player directs himself from Alexis toward the safe zone, but receives a fatal headshot seconds later. Alexis declares all non-team members as enemies, suggesting the eliminated player shouldn't take offense. Alexis's Asirext mentally acknowledges his boss's excessive cruelty and cold-blooded nature. Alexis addresses his allies, offering identical fate to anyone desiring departure. The subordinates pledge allegiance to Alexis, promising permanent loyalty. Suddenly, human silhouettes emerging from the bunker capture the hunter's attention. A sniper scope observer recoils abruptly upon witnessing something terrifying. Countless zombies emerge from the bunker, radiation created from defeated player corpses. The undead begin advancing toward Alexis's hunters while ascending the hillside. One hunter mentions previous similar mode experience, but expresses surprise at current developments. Alexis deduces radiation's responsibility for the dead's appearance. Observing overwhelming undead advantages, Alexis's subordinates recommend retreat to superior positioning. Alexis responds that their objective remains present, and retreat eliminates victory possibilities while wasting all efforts. With these words, he aims his revolver toward enemies, delivering precise headshots to zombies rushing uphill. He encourages his allies against cowardice, since sufficient weaponry exists for temporary defense. The subordinates briefly experience morale boosts and engage the undead, but inadequate results follow. One hunter observes excessive zombie health points, making complete elimination impossible. He loses sight of an approaching undead who kills him through brain consumption. The hunter collapses but rises seconds later as another undead army warrior. Another hunter notes that increased fighting attracts more undead reinforcements. Alexis's Asirext observes universal zombie transformation, adding that continued patterns will create catastrophic situations. Alexis declares their target's immediate proximity, emphasizing retreat impossibility. Hearing gunfire sounds, additional living dead pour from the bunker in massive crowds. Among the undead horde, 3 familiar figures suddenly materialize. They reveal themselves as our heroes, having disguised as zombies for quiet escape from player pursuit. Hunter Alexis remains unnoticed by Marcus and companions, distracted by undead combat. Suddenly, automobile exhaust sounds emerge behind the hunters. Turning toward these sounds, one hunter observes an extremely peculiar scene. He notices Marcus and his squad while shouting that zombies have somehow learned vehicular operation. Alexis turns toward the vehicle, declaring physical impossibility. However, Marcus suddenly removes his mask, surprising the hunters and Alexis himself. After reciting Chinese poetry passages, he smiles while promising future encounters. Alexis screams with rage about Marcus and his squad's deception while aiming his revolver. However, Marcus accelerates maximally before departing at tremendous speed. Alexis orders his allies against hesitation, demanding immediate fugitive pursuit. One subordinate requests salvation from a zombie restraining his movement and preventing escape. Alexis only regards his comrade with contempt before executing him with headshot. Calling the deceased burdensome, he arrogantly proceeds to the vehicle for personal Marcus pursuit. Meanwhile, Marcus and companions race through nighttime countryside road dust. Luna declares Marcus's plan has made her incredibly malodorous, questioning the game's excessive realism. Marcus responds that no alternatives existed since they would otherwise become zombie targets. Rex notices pursuit activity, observing these hunters' persistent determination. Alexis, accompanied by remaining Asirexts, pursues Marcus at maximum speed, hoping for reward acquisition. Marcus announces first-class driving skill demonstrations while gripping the steering wheel tighter. Alexis's Rext informs his superior that Marcus's stolen vehicle represents superior quality, preventing successful pursuit. Alexis responds about approaching cliff formations, noting that flight incapability will result in entrapment. Marcus continues escape attempts while noticing imminent road termination. The protagonist desperately considers options mentally while recognizing rapidly diminishing opportunity windows. Rex warns the protagonist about impending death continuation, while Luna covers her face fearfully, expressing terror about upcoming events. Marcus maintains confidence while requesting secure gripping from his companions. At the final moment, he executes controlled skidding, turning the vehicle before cliff edges. Hunters following Marcus on motorcycles lack sufficient deceleration time, unprepared for such maneuvers. Failing timely reactions, they plummet into the abyss, eliminating their competition participation. Marcus celebrates this outcome happily while accelerating again, continuing pursuit evasion. Alexis loses composure, ordering continued following while adding inevitable capture certainty. The Rext notes extensive personnel losses, suggesting that reward acquisition won't justify the costs. Alexis positions his weapon against the Rext's head, questioning his contradiction audacity while declaring reward, disinterest, and exclusive Marcus elimination focus. Another Alexis hunter shouts to allies about boss instructions, emphasizing Marcus's elimination at any cost. Rex observes Hunter's apparent reward disinterest and predicted intensive shooting, while Marcus notes potential advantages since Alexis cannot think rationally. Alexis loads his rifle, declaring optimal shooting directs achievement. He promises Marcus demonstration of genuine professional player capabilities. Taking careful aim, Alexis fires toward Marcus's vehicle. The projectile strikes the car's tire while the protagonist miraculously maintains vehicular control. He observes Hunter's decisive offensive initiation. Hunters notice the protagonist's vehicle stopping, assuming successful tire destruction. They accelerate toward the stationary car, overcome by easy money acquisition desires. Suddenly, two receive multiple bullet wounds before immediately falling from their motorcycles. Their treacherous back-shooting comrade instructs them to restrain themselves. He adds that reward reception will eliminate subordination requirements. Approaching the vehicle closer, he discovers emptiness while noticing optical sight reflections at the final moment. Luna wastes no time achieving superior shooting positioning, stabilizing her rifle using car door support. She executes rapid shooting, eliminating the off-guard hunter and causing motorcycle fall. The driverless motorcycle continues approaching Marcus at high velocity, while he calmly positions himself in its trajectory. Satisfaction appears on his face as he declares professional demonstration time. With these words, he plants his spear groundward before leaping airborne toward the moving motorcycle. Landing on the vehicle effortlessly, he grasps the steering mechanism and executes 180-degree rotation. Completing the maneuver, he advances toward Alexis's hunters while shouting challenge acceptance demands. Hunters respond about his excessive self-regard while opening lethal small-caliber fire. Marcus skillfully maneuvers the motorcycle, expertly avoiding projectiles whistling near his head. Hunters exhaust their ammunition clips while complaining about single-handed reload inconvenience. Approaching opponents at sufficient proximity, Marcus decides on complex maneuver execution for multiple opponent elimination. With single movements, he displaces two opponents from their vehicles, reducing their health to 0. Each defeated enemy awards the protagonist 100 points for continued melee weapon usage. Another hunter group advances while drawing weapons for fire initiation. However, Marcus manages sufficient proximity for spear range effectiveness. Bursting into opponent crowds, he continues crushing them through spear movements. Alexis exits the vehicle, observing apparent Marcus game participation while noting potential location planning. Alexis's Rext warns about approaching safe zone boundary proximity. Alexis examines stored pills, noting radiation medication effectiveness if theories prove correct. The Rext questions Alexis about pill sharing given their effectiveness. Alexis arrogantly responds that the Asarex represents unnecessary burden, only earning Asarex through Marcus elimination. Meanwhile, one vehicle-riding hunter requests careful driving from his driver for improved shooting convenience. However, receiving no response, he turns to Underrex D, developing situations. He discovers someone eliminated his driver while their vehicle races randomly. The shooter attempts control assumption but lacks time, crashing into trees and exploding with the vehicle. The driver's killer reveals herself as Luna, continuing accurate fire against approaching enemies. Taking reloading breaks, she declares inability to grant all points to Marcus. Rex, positioned beside Luna, notes Marcus's transformation of simple shooting into genuine action gaming. He explains his weapon's limited range restrictions, preventing effective player elimination. Marcus, meanwhile, continues enemy devastation with his spear, receiving double points per elimination. Having navigated through hunter crowds, he advances while deciding on personal Alexis confrontation. Alexis rests beside the vehicle while discovering Marcus's full-speed approach. They observe each other while simultaneously declaring conclusion time. Alexis reloads his assault rifle while positioning ready with careful aim. He empties the clip toward the protagonist, declaring inability to lose against Marcus's weakness. Marcus avoids Alexis's shots while maintaining lower head positioning. However, one projectile strikes him directly in the shoulder, removing approximately 20% of health points. Nevertheless, he manages direct closure and lowers his spear again. Marcus drives his spear groundward, creating smoke screens and reducing speed before jumping. Grasping it with both hands, he abandons the motorcycle while attempting fall softening. The motorcycle rushes at maximum velocity toward the vehicle positioned beside Alexis. Alexis manages timely lateral jumping, executing somersault maneuvers. A motorcycle crashes into the car and explodes, consuming the vehicle while illuminating the location with brilliant flashes. Alexis regains footing while questioning these ridiculous tactical approaches. He raises his rifle but immediately receives energy arrow impact from Marcus's composite bow. The arrow strikes Alexis's hand, causing rifle displacement several meters sideways. Alexis observes the massive hole created by Marcus's shot while cursing angrily. Looking upward, he discovers Marcus positioned before him, maintaining weapon targeting. Taking aim, he declares apparent oversight regarding Alexis's Asirext. The rifle recently owned by Alexis lands at that Marcus Asirext's feet. The Asirext regards the rifle with gloomy expressions while contemplating current developments. Alexis shouts at his Asirext, addressing him as Todd for the first time, while demanding weapon transfer as quickly as possible. Todd reluctantly reaches toward his assault rifle while regarding Alexis with contempt. Meanwhile, Luna and Rex arrive at the scene, cheerfully reporting their satisfactory condition. Marcus decides on tedious chase conclusion while drawing his bow again. Alexis turns toward his Asirext with rage while angrily questioning his delayed actions. Todd regards Alexis with contempt while shouting instructions for silence. Alexis observes Todd with shock while questioning his audacious communication style. However, instead of responding, Todd engages the trigger, releasing complete clips into Alexis's body. The damage proves fatal to Alexis as he falls helplessly groundward. Lying groundward, he barely indicates Todd while calling him a pathetic betrayer. Luna dismounts the motorcycle while questioning Todd's escape avoidance. Marcus turns his weapon toward Todd while taking aim. However, Todd chooses non-resurrects, hastily discarding his rifle groundward. He raises his hands while declaring surrender, requesting squad membership from Marcus and companions. Marcus draws his bow while questioning Todd's sudden membership desires. He adds that one ally demonstrates exceptional marksmanship, while another possesses extreme strength, questioning Todd's potential contributions. Todd calmly responds about his intelligence through appropriate alliance selection. He glances at Alexis's corpse while declaring immediate strength and weakness recognition. Marcus acknowledges these excellent qualities while accepting him into his team. Rex approaches Marcus while questioning Todd's squad inclusion, expressing loyalty doubts. Marcus reassures Rex's concerns while claiming precise action knowledge. Remembering perfectly that Todd eliminated him in previous existence, he warns that betrayal will result in slow and painful death. Morning arrives as system notifications inform everyone about 284 remaining server survivors. Marcus and his squad greet morning through fried rodent cooking over fires for health point replenishment. Marcus brings the cooked provisions closer while noting extended fasting periods and excellent breakfast aromas. Rex consumes his portion while acknowledging acceptable quality despite strange aftertastes. Luna notes unlimited consumption possibilities since real-world weight gain won't occur. Marcus listens to companion conversations while mentally noting their incorrect focus priorities. Todd politely requests food portion sharing from Marcus. Marcus responds about unfortunate 3-rabbit limitation while promising additional searches. Todd gratefully thanks Marcus with sincere smiling expressions. The protagonist provides a supply can to Todd, explaining their remaining resources. Todd accepts the container with sad expressions while questioning alternatives to canned provisions. Marcus responds about nutritious and long-lasting food qualities while suggesting probable enjoyment. Todd, recognizing limited option availability, reluctantly opens the container. Suspecting nothing, he empties the entire can contents while Todd, recognizing limited option availability, reluctantly opens the container. Without warning, the jar's contents begin inflicting excruciating burning sensations upon Todd's tongue and throat. Marcus concludes with gloating satisfaction that, unfortunately, Todd selected the incorrect canned provisions. Through pure coincidence, he provided him with a container of preserved chili peppers. Rex questions Marcus's cruel behavior, while Luna conversely finds the situation somehow amusing. Todd mentally condemns Marcus for such discourteous conduct, while failing to understand what warranted such treatment. He alters his expression, calmly questioning the protagonist's intentions. Marcus observes that Todd's assault rifle demonstrates impressive modification quality. He requests weapon borrowing from Todd. Todd notes that such arrangements would leave him completely weaponless. Marcus menacingly questions whether Todd desires identical fate to his former associates. Todd calmly responds about trouble avoidance while removing his rifle from his belt. Todd completely detaches his rifle, pausing briefly while maintaining Marcus-directed targeting. Luna, detecting suspicious circumrexes, reaches for her sniper rifle to provide Marcus protection. However, Rex restrains her by placing his hand upon the sniper weapon. He reassures Luna against worry, explaining Marcus's loyalty testing of Todd. Todd, smiling, calmly transfers his rifle to Marcus while noting that Marcus's superior strength makes weapon ownership more beneficial. Marcus expresses gratitude to Todd before raising the rifle toward Todd's head positioning. Todd observes Marcus with shock while attempting hand elevation for instinctive facial protection. Marcus, without additional words, fires projectiles at Todd's head level. Turning around, Todd realizes Marcus eliminated the individual who approached them from behind. Moving closer, Luna discovers this represents not a player, but a zombie somehow reaching their location. Luna expresses surprise at zombie arrival at their position while surveying surroundings. Marcus retrieves his spear while declaring increasing situation seriousness. Approaching the eliminated zombie, he observes several dozen additional living dead wandering nearby. System notifications inform everyone about 243 remaining survivors, while our heroes rush toward their vehicle, attracting zombie attention. Surveying surroundings, Marcus attempts underestimating current developments and zombie behavioral patterns. Todd urges everyone toward acceleration, noting the dead's immediate proximity. Several zombies successfully pursue the vehicle, grasping the car's trunk with their hands. Rex determines hesitation time has ended, retrieving his machete while screaming at the dead for departure. Resting upon the trunk, he swings his machete, displacing opponents away from the vehicle. Marcus requests readiness from everyone while engaging the gas pedal, causing sudden vehicular acceleration. Having penetrated the living dead crowd, Marcus navigates from the forest while deciding on next safe zone advancement. A scorching desert materializes before the heroes as they flee at maximum velocity from pursuing enemies across burning sand. Looking backward, Luna concludes their apparent successful pursuit evasion. However, Marcus maintains skepticism about her optimism while declaring genuine dangers ahead. Looking forward, the heroes express sincere frustration about their adventurous fortune. System notifications inform everyone about special Circumrex activation of additional Billion Zombies quest, generating extensive zombie groups throughout the map while requiring 24-hour player survival. Marcus reflects internally that such surprises prove extremely unusual for this gaming experience. Marcus explains that original game mechanics limited zombie appearances to safe zone exteriors, but current situations include interior manifestations. Suddenly, Marcus recognizes potential butterfly effect causation. Marcus recalls how rainforest butterfly movements in South America could produce incredible consequences. According to theoretical frameworks, such waves could generate Kansas tornadoes 2 weeks subsequently. From Marcus's perspective, since his current actions differ from past experiences, this generated new system quest creation. Luna questions Marcus about meaning implications and required response actions. Marcus responds that fortress destinations await several kilometers ahead, providing fortification opportunities. Rex declares easier theoretical than practical execution, noting hungry zombie crowds ahead while questioning circumvention methods. Marcus questions Rex's assumptions about crowd avoidance. He accelerates for direct penetration through Walking Dead crowds. Luna fearfully questions Marcus's actions while gripping her rifle tighter. One walking zombie turns toward approaching vehicular sounds while frantically scanning ahead. Marcus crashes into the dead individual at maximum velocity while fighting towards safety. Rex notes prolonged endurance impossibility under continued circumrexes before rexting within the car attempting dead displacement. Luna attempts climbing dead elimination with rifle stocks, noting sniper burden rather than advantage in such situations. Meanwhile, one dead individual grasping the vehicle manages her t-shirt seizure. Marcus turns backward, instructing his companions toward maximum firepower utilization. However, the dead grasp Luna while attempting her vehicular extraction. A split second later, projectiles penetrate the dead individual's head, who grasped Luna, causing prey release. Luna's rescuer reveals himself as Marcus, who quickly produces his weapon before questioning her condition. Luna responds about satisfactory status, while Marcus notes complete dead audacity. He engages the gas pedal again while declaring lesson teaching time and rushing towards safe destinations. Observing another dead crowd ahead, Marcus decides on renewed ramming tactics. Meanwhile, within central safe zone castle locations, survivor groups maintain established positions. Observing massive zombie crowds, the fortress commandant declares whole-day endurance unrealistic. Suddenly, Commandant Shen's attention focuses on vehicles approaching their position. Closer examination reveals battle-damaged cars stalled several tens of meters from their castle. Exhausted, Marcus informs his companions about final arrival. He adds that this location represents the final safe zone for round conclusion. Fortress defenders shout at Marcus and his squad for direct sea maintenance and hands elevation. Marcus advises weapon conservation for zombie combat if firearms are available. Shen questions the protagonist's specific meaning. Marcus indicates zombie crowds positioned behind them, while explaining that entry denial results in deaths for both Marcus and fortress occupants. Shen questions the basis for trusting the protagonist's statements. A split second later, Shen's cap receives precise sniper rifle perforation. Luna provides him with smugly satisfied expressions, implying Shen's limited situational choices. Marcus declares one exceptional reason for Shen's trust establishment. He explains that he and his squad represent incredibly powerful players, superior to everyone on this server. Shen removes his cap while examining the neat bullet hole created by Luna's rifle. With hand gestures, he addresses his companions while ordering gate opening for Marcus. Marcus and his squad examine all weapons and ammunition acquired during their journey. Shen and his companions observe the collection with fascination while expressing impressive reactions. Marcus suggests weapon sharing among everyone for increased survival probability. Shen expresses surprise at Marcus's generosity while acknowledging his magnanimous nature. Todd agrees with Shen while questioning Marcus about potential weapon preservation benefits. Marcus responds that such actions prove pointless since shared circumrexes require collective success or universal failure. He provides Shen with a machine gun while declaring concluded joking, adding that rule changes require unity or death. Shen freezes momentarily at Marcus's sincere speech, unable to formulate appropriate responses. Recovering his composure, he loudly agrees with the protagonist while accepting the machine gun. Luna and Rex position themselves at makeshift distribution points, beginning equipment and ammunition distribution to interested parties. After considerable time, Shen reports complete equipment and battle readiness for all his personnel. Marcus praises Shen while requesting everyone's ultimate goal declarations. Fortress defenders unanimously shout that victory represents their exclusive objective. After some duration, Marcus ascends the tower while secretly eliminating dead individuals with his bow. Marcus notes negligible zombie elimination rewards, totaling merely 10 points. Meanwhile, Todd approaches him while questioning meeting requests, addressing Marcus as boss. Marcus instructs Todd against such addressing since he represents no one's superior. Todd notes Marcus's plans compel his following behaviors. He adds that Marcus demonstrates cruelty through extensive team recruitment for merciless endgame elimination toward victory achievement. Marcus declares Todd's error since his intentions involve fighting alongside them while surviving until conclusion. Todd suggests this must represent humor since zombie quantities make survival impossibility. Marcus responds that COG avoids providing players with impossible tasks, adding his important Todd mission. Todd questions Marcus's requirements, receiving responses about zombie information gathering for defense planning. He adds that Shen dispatched 3 team members, requiring their contribution as trust demonstration. Todd questions his selection rationale since Luna and Rex possess superior strength. Marcus explains Rex's control loss during combat engagement. He additionally notes Luna's excellent marksmanship but close combat difficulties without support. Todd, from Marcus's perspective, demonstrates agility and weapon mastery, making him ideal for this assignment. He questions whether Todd prefers Marcus's personal departure. Marcus offers reward provisions allowing sideline positioning during castle defense, maximizing survival rates. Todd expresses satisfaction with these conditions while hoping Marcus maintains his commitments. With these words, he departs while contemplating task planning. Marcus advises Todd toward caution while ensuring safe return. Todd appropriates 1 Fortress Defender motorcycle for transportation before departure for reconnaissance. Rex observes Todd's departure while questioning Marcus about sending the individual toward certain death. Marcus notes their extended collaboration duration, suggesting Rex avoid decision questioning. Marcus reflects that Todd probably maintains personal victory plans, making castle retention the worst decision. Meanwhile, Todd assumes tree observation positioning while angrily declaring eventual Marcus elimination. He tells himself that zombies would never consider tree searches, permitting comfortable waiting before calm return to Marcus. Sudden leaf movements interrupt Todd's thoughts while generating wariness. Todd decides on noise source approach while attempting sound creator identification. The sound source reveals itself as a menacingly growling zombie upon Todd's approach. Todd drops his rifle fearfully while falling groundward, painfully impacting his entire body. Attempting recovery, he expresses surprise at ordinary zombie tree climbing capabilities. Looking upward, he notices all former comrades transformed into living dead, positioned before him. One dead individual steps upon his rifle while stating in otherworldly voice his unexpected Todd reunion. Todd looks upward, remaining speechless through shock duration. Before him, Rex is Alexis, transformed into dead but retaining self-awareness. After some duration, Marcus completes necessary fortress defense reports while situated in office locations. Rex reports completed fortress player counting, adding 72 total individuals including newly accepted members. Marcus informs Rex that 72 people provide more than sufficient numbers for his planning. Suddenly, loud office door knocking occurs while male voices report 73 fortress occupants, not 72. Rex and Marcus become distracted by sounds while attempting speaker identification. Todd enters the office while reporting successful mission completion. Rex pats Todd's shoulder while praising his excellent performance and expressing joy about his unharmed condition. Todd declares incredibly valuable experience gained through zombie horde combat. Marcus also thanks Todd while acknowledging his exceptional performance. Todd approaches the protagonist while questioning promise, validity, continuation. Marcus declares Todd's information sharing capability, followed by calm rest opportunities. He adds safe castle defense abandonment since excellent preparation exists. Luna, meanwhile, engages direct dead shooting while wondering about potential zombie attacks. Shen approaches her with accuracy applause while acknowledging her exceptional work performance. He admits to Luna about his devoted fan status. Luna questions his continued carrying of thoroughly shot cap. Shen explains that since Luna created the shot, he will preserve this cap until match conclusion. Marcus emerges toward them while calling Luna, explaining his extensive search efforts. Shen declares conversation non-interference before departing for equipment inspection. Luna questions Marcus about Shen's whispered communications during his passage. Marcus responds with questioning about whether Shen demonstrates flirtation toward her. Luna expresses surprise while declaring such possibilities borderline impossible. Marcus responds that Luna possesses considerable beauty and wonderful physical attributes while questioning her male popularity. Luna declares romantic affair weakness, clarifying that boyfriend selection requires excellent gaming capabilities. Marcus suggests later conversation completion, since more serious topic discussions await. Luna regards Marcus questioningly while requesting specific discussion topic clarification. After some duration, night returns while system notifications inform everyone about 74 remaining survivors, with 6 hours remaining until event conclusion. Rex examines the horde through binoculars while questioning Marcus's zombie attack certainty. According to Rex, only small living dead groups position themselves ahead. Marcus responds that correct information indicates imminent horde attacks. Rex replies that no current indications exist, but stops mid-sentence for closer examination. A second later, he screams while observing zombie directions with surprise. He notices enormous dead populations arriving on horizons in massive quantities. Fortress defenders observe approaching zombie crowds with horror while disbelieving their elimination capabilities. Marcus approaches castle tower edges while warning his comrades about survival uncertainties and complete dead elimination impossibilities. However, he quickly adds guarantees about ally betrayal avoidance and frontline fighting participation. Fortress defenders experience inspiration from Marcus's speech while listening with fascination. Marcus adds truthful acknowledgement about fiery speech inability, limiting himself to single declarations. With these words, he raises his fist skyward while shouting definitive victory proclamations. The crowd adopts his enthusiasm while beginning similar word chanting. Meanwhile, Walking Dead hordes arrive at castle locations beginning siege operations. Initially, zombies trigger mine explosions, creating powerful detonations scattering dozens of dead individuals sideways. Fortress defenders express surprise at these developments while observing downward activities. Marcus commands defenders against relaxation while remembering victory stakes. Defenders initiate dead crowd firing while zombies activate additional mines during approach. Rex shoots dead individuals with heavy machine guns while joyfully shouting about universal elimination requirements. Dead individuals fall successively under projectiles, but immediate replacements arrive. Rex declares excessive dead populations while questioning Marcus's management plans. Marcus draws his bow while requesting Rex's worry cessation since warming up continues. Drawing bowstring, Marcus questions dead readiness for death before arrow shooting. The arrow rapidly penetrates air before landing beside unknown liquid sub-Rexes. Rex observes downward while desperately noting Marcus's approximately zero-effect actions. Marcus requests Rex's nervousness cessation while snapping fingers with satisfied smiling. At identical moments, liquid sub-Rexes, revealing themselves as kerosene, ignite. Horde front ranks experience enrexed raging flame engulfment before ground collapse. Rex addresses Marcus while noting subtle tactical reminders. Marcus declares convenient tactical advantages through single-shot crowd destruction. Dead individuals halt before fiery barriers without crossing courage. However, after several seconds, raindrops begin falling upon Marcus's head while he declares complete joke absurdity. Pouring rain extinguishes fire barriers while all defenders curse game mechanics. Marcus observes storm clouds upward while suggesting purposeful interference. Hordes begin mutual piling for castle wall, overcoming while defenders experience renewed nervousness. Defenders drop specialized mixtures upon climbing dead, causing downward displacement. However, dead individuals maintain persistence through stubborn steep wall climbing continuation. One dead invader successfully overcomes walls while beginning final ledge climbing. However, Rex interrupts him through single machete blows, sending dead individuals downward. Marcus shouts at allies against surrender while adding victory assurances. With these words, one ally approaches him declaring true victory, belonging while positioning pistols against his head rear. That again reveals the traitor while adding unfortunate Marcus victory observation prevention. 3.5 hours remain until event conclusion, while live player numbers decrease to 59. Marcus questions Todd about elimination motivations, while sincerely failing to understand his reasoning. Todd declares identical questioning desires multiple times previously, while adding Marcus's interference with correct solution development. Marcus declares Todd's hiding and waiting requirements, while expressing disappointment even there. Todd informs the protagonist about zombie agreements guaranteeing his safety through Marcus elimination. Marcus declares Todd's sufficient communication while announcing his time's expiration. Following these declarations, gunfire resonates as Todd receives projectile impact near his cardiac region, preventing his shooting before ground collapse. Luna, who maintained observation of developing events from nearby castle tower positions, confirms task completion while examining Todd from direct locations. Todd recognizes Marcus's perpetual betrayal suspicion, explaining his thorough preparation methods. The protagonist informs Todd about surveillance device placement and excessive stationary positioning duration, adding that anyone would develop suspicions under such circumstances. Todd, barely restraining pain from received injuries, declares Marcus's premature celebration since victory impossibility stems from one unconsidered important factor. Marcus addresses Todd while questioning his statement meanings. Suddenly, familiar voice emerges behind him, explaining Todd's reference implications. Turning around, Marcus discovers Alexis questioning whether Marcus anticipated his appearance while adding their final reunion achievement. Alexis explains that pills consumed during Marcus' pursuit actually enabled living dead control capabilities. He lacks speech completion time as Luna decides against prolongation, shooting him in the head with large-caliber sniper weaponry. Luna questions whether pills assisted Alexis in delivering briefer speeches. Alexis responds about complete immortality acquisition, while Luna observes his unchanged health points, despite head impact. Luna expresses surprise while questioning possibility and suggesting Alexis initiated cheat software usage. Marcus retrieves his spear while instructing Luna toward Asirexa provision for others, leaving Alexis' confrontation to him, prompting arrogant laughter. Alexis declares their futile attempts since zombies will pursue him everywhere, adding that fortress occupation by living dead will occur imminently. Marcus announces prior elimination intentions before charging with his spear. He easily penetrates Alexis's form, but receives only facial laughter with pathetic idiot designation while learning physical attack immunity. Following these words, he grasps the protagonist's throat while effortlessly lifting him airborne for throwing purposes. Deciding on rapid Marcus termination, Alexis strikes him against stonework with maximum force, breaking watchtower sections. Alexis gloatingly questions Marcus about defeat sensations when victory approached closely. Marcus responds that no sensation surpasses this suffering, since he previously endured such torment. With these words, he dislodges Alexis's hand from his neck while grasping his spear. Grasping the spear shaft, Marcus inrexly ignites it through mere contact. He declares perpetual unwillingness to experience similar sensations before plunging the burning section deeper into Alexis's form. Flames begin consuming Alexis's body while he shouts impossibility claims, failing to under-Rex Marcus's ability sources. Marcus recalls the moment when consecutive fire elimination titles were received. He remembers additional completely random title acquisition among other rewards. As compensation, he received cards capable of teaching specific skills when utilized. That card revealed itself as Arsonist Designation, teaching wearers fire element manipulation methods. Marcus explains fortunate spear lubrication with flammable materials, while adding unexpected skill utility recognition. Alexis shouts impossibility while adding complete immortality expectations. However, flames rapidly consume him while Marcus receives 500 points for living dead army leader destruction. Marcus sarcastically remarks about another victim succumbing before the great barbecue master. However, the protagonist decides against premature celebration while addressing his defenders. Observing deteriorating circumstances, he recognizes approaching genuine battle requirements. System notifications inform everyone about 2 hours and 19 minutes remaining survival time, while adding 47 remaining survivors. Living dead hordes, through tireless tower access attempts, form giant corpse mountains, allowing other zombie climbing toward objectives. Rex experiences numerical overwhelm while switching to machete usage, scattering opponents in multiple directions. Only 39 survivors remain while Luna declares excessive dead populations. Another 5 players perish while Shen maintains positioning with final strength, shouting desperately about endless zombie streams. Marcus continues successive opponent shooting while attempting comprehension about unchanged Rex's, following dead leader elimination, expressing hope that game developers avoided fundamentally unwinnable events. Todd, positioned nearby, informs the protagonist about their similarity, since both will ultimately lose this round. Todd declares complete idiocy among Marcus's followers, since he leads everyone toward damnation. Marcus slowly repeats Todd's statements before suddenly receiving exceptional inspiration. Turning around, he acknowledges Todd's correctness while adding exploitation intentions. Todd questions the protagonist's surprising plans while coughing from injury effects. Marcus announces genuine survival time arrival while lowering his weapon, deciding on desperate action implementation. Meanwhile, Rex begins territory loss while zombies deliver powerful blows, causing his collapse. Looking upward, he observes dead individuals positioned before him, swinging sharp axes. However, split seconds before Rex receives impact, zombies suddenly freeze while observing strange sounds and screaming. Rex rises while acknowledging strange voice recognition before turning toward noise sources. Rex grasps fresh motorcycles attached to dead Alexis before leaping from tower positions. Luna, observing this desperate action, notes Marcus's excessive recklessness. Marcus turns toward walking dead hordes while shouting "follow instructions," additionally honking motorcycle signals. Hearing screams while sensing leader presence, dead individuals turn around observing Marcus. A second later, they abandon castle siege attempts while advancing toward the protagonist. System notifications inform players about 1 remaining survival hour, while Marcus declares approximately 1 in a million chances with opportunity exploitation. Rex rises with difficulty while requesting others avoid confirming Marcus's self-sacrifice thoughts for their victory. Luna places her hand upon his shoulder while lifting him, declaring such actions clearly contradict Marcus's characteristic style. They both agree that Marcus represents the individual type surviving impossible circumrexes. Meanwhile, dead crowds continue Marcus' pursuit while activating previously avoided explosive devices. Marcus declares plan accordance while adding that error avoidance initiates entertainment phases. Shortly following these words, heavy bombing commences upon living dead crowds, creating powerful explosions. Luna accesses map interfaces while discovering Marcus's dead leadership area selected for carpet bombing locations. She expresses surprise at Marcus's foresight while noting unsurprising predictions regarding her appearances. Following intensive bombing hours, zombie horde remnants consist of massive mutilated body fields lying groundward. System reports indicate 26 remaining survivors, while adding 17 minutes until event conclusion. Luna rests atop siege walls while scanning horizons, worried about Marcus's continued absence. Shen informs her that rough calculations indicate all 26 survivors occupy their fortress, concluding Marcus's probable non-survival. Luna declares impossibility while adding Marcus's non-surrender personality characteristics. A minute later, small black dots appear on horizons while rapidly approaching castle locations. Luna realizes this point represents Marcus returning via motorcycle while declaring his continuous amazement capacity. Ascending castle walls, Marcus questions others' return expectations while adding his safety confirmation. Shen and Rex surround him while declaring genius behavior and acknowledging the coolest witnessed actions. Luna, however, grasps his collar while pulling him aside, questioning his reckless actions. She questions his dangerous behavior while adding complete teammate reliability absence. Marcus smiles while promising word-based assurance against future reckless actions. System notifications inform all players about Billion's mission victory while adding 500-point rewards for all survivors with further scoring eligibility. Marcus smiles at notifications while declaring tournament first round completion. Luna observes Marcus closely while questioning forgotten important matters. Meanwhile, Todd attempts maximum effort crawling toward besieged castle safety. Todd tells himself about brief waiting requirements with victory pocket accessibility. Suddenly, approaching footstep sounds and questioning voices about destinations emerge. Looking upward, he observes Marcus questioning celebration participation with other surviving players. Todd begins frantic Marcus ingratiation, declaring his greatness and kind heart while suggesting humble person concerns unnecessity. He kneels before Marcus while declaring sin repentance, requesting mercy while adding Asirex promises for future rounds until death. Marcus responds that Todd maintains such statements until convenience suits him. However, after seconds, he smiles while declaring forgiveness, possibilities for all actions. Todd sits happily while questioning Marcus's genuine Todd forgiveness. A second later, projectiles penetrate Todd's head while he collapses dead upon stone flooring. Marcus, departing from cooling corpses, informs him about deception while adding betrayal, forgiveness, impossibility. After some real-world duration, television programs discuss topics about player Marcus's excessive strength. Discussion presenters divide between experienced player versus ordinary cheater classifications. Cafe visitors observing this program also suspect Marcus's successes while believing cheating involvement. Rex, Luna, and Marcus, positioned in this cafe, laugh at developments while Luna informs the protagonist about fan acquisition. Marcus notes extensive internet cheat accusations while adding identity distortion prevention through their information protection. Luna declares personal cheat suspicions regarding Marcus, since he knew exact timing and safe place locations, plus bombing zones. They examine scoreboards while discovering Marcus and Luna occupying first and second positions respectively among all tournament players. Rex questions Marcus's extensive first-round knowledge while adding definite concealment confirmations. Marcus informs him about information sharing impossibility while hoping continued teammate fighting collaboration. Luna responds that subsequent rounds may prevent Marcus' server placement, eliminating grouping possibilities. Marcus agrees while noting first round 99% player elimination with remaining individual impacts. He additionally notes that finals proximity reduces player numbers while increasing Marcus' server probability. Luna declares unfortunate Marcus-level player strength absence while expressing next round passage confidence deficiency. Rex observes Luna concernedly while questioning her statement meanings. Marcus responds about meeting suggestions beyond friendly atmosphere and coffee drinking. He explains that cheats typically represent game data manipulation, strengthening players, but KOG conditions render cheat usage nearly impossible. He adds that forthcoming offerings represent deception, failing to meet cheating criteria. Luna and Rex express surprise at Marcus's proposals while questioning his meanings. Marcus smiles while declaring information offerings as his most important capabilities. He clarifies that fake materials contain detailed next-round information for imminent commencement. After some duration, Marcus arrives home where computer systems with virtual reality helmets await him. Wearing his helmet, he activates full immersion modes while declaring approaching exceptional entertainment. Upon virtual arena entry, Marcus declares knowledge about game order consistency with remembered sequences. System announcements declare second-round dedication to Endless Tower games, where players utilize magic cards through numerous fight victories to reach summits and advance to next stages. Players express surprise at such unusual regulations while attempting card usage comprehension. Arena materializes before players where solitary human silhouettes become visible. Illumination reveals arena persons as extremely expressive presenters, introducing themselves as Dance. Marcus notes that even hosts remain unchanged since last meetings. Players publicly express Dance appearance dissatisfaction while suggesting beautiful girl performer preferences over him. Dance appreciates criticism negatively while throwing microphones at players, declaring professional MC status rendering caustic comments inappropriate. However, after seconds, he recovers composure while requesting forgiveness for excess before declaring second-round rule explanation time. He reveals players' current tower positions filled with traps and monsters while adding summit-reaching requirements through floor-by-floor passage for victory achievement. According to him, difficulty increases per floor while each player receives 3 different card types as rewards. 3 total card types exist: red attack cards, yellow goods cards, and blue effect cards. A girl appears among players while informing Dance about numerous weaponless and equipmentless players, noting first, floor monster encounters would immediately terminate games. Crowds adopt this concern while questioning Dance about previous round weapon provision denial, adding empty-handed game commencement impossibility. Dance declares players' current point expenditure opportunities for cards selling at lowest prices. He adds incredibly modest 1,000 point per card costs. Players begin active protests while declaring price unfairness and low-point player business exclusion. Dance instructs players against illusion invention since this game strengthens strong individuals while weakening weak ones, representing world's true nature. He adds that some players achieve first-round exits through luck, but tower elimination will remove all competition weaklings. The expressive presenter declares 30-minute decision periods for card purchasing, but post-game commencement option blocking. Players become discouraged while deciding against extensive point expenditure since competition victory impossibility anyway. Dance declares excessive player hesitation for second-round participants, while expressing surprise at surrender decisions before second-round commencement. One player raises hands while declaring card purchasing desires. Dance hears player voices while turning sharply for proper player observation. He instructs player careful consideration, since individual cards cost 1,000 points. The willing individual reveals himself as Marcus, requesting 7 card sales from the presenter. Dance observes Marcus, surprisingly, while instructing joke cessation since 7,000-point discussions occur. Suddenly, players recognize Marcus while declaring his first-place point position. Marcus smugly lowers his head while confirming their courage recognition since he represented himself. Players immediately begin achievement recollection while declaring his cheater status using cheat software. Marcus loses composure while declaring lifetime cheat or cheat software usage absence. However, player crowds remain unimpressed by heartfelt statements while continuing personal insistence. Marcus retrieves his spear while informing other players about hatred-based option availability. He adds that anyone can attempt his elimination this round if desired. One player calls Marcus a pathetic boaster while adding definite round confrontation promises. Other players adopt this concept while promising Marcus wall smashing upon opportunity arrival. The girl observes Marcus's narcissistic actions while mentally admitting his extreme irritation. Dance observes developments while mentally noting gradually increasing player morale due to Marcus. Marcus addresses hosts again while declaring continued 7-card purchasing desires, questioning problem existence. Dance smiles broadly while declaring buyer word supremacy before finger snapping. Entire card collections appear before Marcus, positioned face down toward him, while Dance explains randomized store cards with good luck wishes. Marcus contemplates while realizing random card ordering eliminates past memory recs for current situations. He decides on random selection while choosing arbitrary cards catching his attention. He declares upcoming demonstrations of exceptional luck player power. Rooms experience golden light illumination, while players shout disbelief about protagonist's rarest possible card acquisition. Marcus realizes incredible jackpot concealment while deciding on prize examination. Unfortunately, Marcus receives developer joke cards since they accomplish nothing despite rarity. Players observe Marcus's cards with bewilderment while failing to under-rex the 1,000-point cost ridiculous copy existence. Marcus decides against card necessity while throwing them airborne before spear movement cutting them in half. Players express shock about Marcus's easy 1,000-point item disposal despite extremely low practicality. Dan declares company point refund denial for torn cards while requesting other player reasonableness. Marcus responds about acceptability since small point amounts allow easy earning recovery. Marcus continues card examination while deciding on collection selections. Turning attention toward deck halves, he decides on random card destruction for disliked items. Consequently, Marcus selects 3 cards while declaring additional card unnecessity. Players observe Marcus's actions while declaring point waste represents unwise and stupid behavior. Marcus addresses players while declaring doubt guarantees definite defeat. Following these words, players individually express card purchasing desires using all money for luck attempts. Dan requests everyone's patience while following first-come, first-served regulations, adding sufficient card availability for everyone. The girl observes Marcus surprisingly while disbelieving Marcus's single-action restoration of everyone's fighting will. Marcus departs while declaring insufficient participant numbers create incredible game boredom. After some duration, Marcus and several other players approach Challenge Tower ground floors. According to presenter information, they position at endless tower bottoms, where each staircase flight leads to random levels, providing players free floor selection. Marcus turns backward while questioning players about following motivations. Players avoid truth admission while denying facts, instructing Marcus against excessive smugness. Marcus mentally declares these players complete shame and conscience absence while deciding on plan formulation. The girl observes this scene while wondering whether these players genuinely believe expert following increases victory chances. Marcus hastily formulates plans while admitting choicelessness for forbidden technique resort. With these words, he sharply points fingers behind players' backs while shouting about pretty girl decisions for self-exposure. Players immediately accept bait while turning backward, attempting beauty location discovery. However, behind them exists only presenters who suddenly decided on player self-exposure. Players throw garbage at leaders while declaring viewing unwillingness, requesting immediate departure. One player turns around while noticing Marcus's absence, shouting at others about this criminal's deception. Marcus decides against time waste while achieving rapid mobility, preventing future interference. Meanwhile, Marcus's adventures receive close corporate executive director observation. Asirexts approach his office while questioning second-round situations, requesting discrepancy information. Asirexts respond that only blank spots involve Marcus, since he achieved first-ranking position while significantly advancing beyond second players in points, earning at least 2 achievements. Executives question Asirexts about system anomaly observation or Marcus's deception method usage evidence. Asirexts declare this player's inexplicable behavior as extremely game familiar while adding possible external world game data leakage. Directors declare second-round content complete randomization, noting leak ineffectiveness for Marcus Asirex before ordering Asirext organization of most powerful Marcus monsters. Asirex respond that regulations prevent company game course interference, mentioning impossible-to-cope strongest monsters. Executive directors question Asirex's order disobedience audacity. Asirex slavishly respond about immediate order execution before departing. Marcus discovers himself on endless tower second floors while deciding on surrounding observation for upcoming test identification. Marcus remembers first-level combat challenges while wondering about enemy confrontation types. Suddenly, incredible roaring emerges beside him while observing huge monster paws stopping directly before him. Looking upward, he examines the creature positioned before him while declaring this must represent some humor. An 8-headed demonic dragon presents itself before the protagonist in complete magnificent glory. The dragon releases loud roaring while Marcus questions the creature's recent dental hygiene, noting disgusting aromatic emissions. The dragon again produces loud roaring while preparing powerful attack launches using multiple heads. Marcus joyfully observes the monster's rage while questioning nerve contact. Loud explosions resonate at Marcus's positioning, but smoke clearance reveals only empty crater remnants. The dragon begins menacing breathing while attempting prey location and conducting threatening surveillance. Marcus observes the monster while declaring this creature combat revives old memories. He briefly plunges into past recollections, remembering this monster's battle 1 year ago when they attempted incredible difficulty dragon defeat. A year previously, Marcus again utilized leadership capabilities while requesting ally unity for monster destruction, regardless of casualty numbers. Back in present circumrexes, Marcus declares this monster should exclusively inhabit upper floors without first-floor presence. However, from Marcus's perspective, this represents excellent change since he can now acquire all points personally. Viewers observe Marcus's combat while declaring his crazy daredevil status. Marcus declares broadcast screens must overflow with current death-wishing comments due to his arrogance. The demonic dragon maintains patience absence while deciding on Marcus's ranged attack termination, flaring nostril areas. Opening massive mouth cavity, the dragon expels deadly fire waves directly toward the protagonist. Marcus easily avoids fire assault while shouting at the dragon that fire playing produces nothing beneficial. With these words, he launches airborne while rushing toward dragon attack, declaring conclusion time. The dragon attempts Marcus's knockdown through head attacks, but Marcus pushes groundward before flying airborne. Having selected the most vulnerable positioning, Marcus descends stone-like while pointing his spear toward the monster. Falling upon the monster, he easily penetrates its fire-breathing head using his spear. The mighty dragon howls painfully while beginning side-to-side head-shaking. Marcus declares entertainment beginnings while gripping his spear tightly. Observing proper moments, he extracts the spear from dragon heads while utilizing transformation, unlocking new configurations. The new configuration reveals itself as deadly blades with razor-sharp cutting edges. He provides the dragon with cheeky expressions while declaring weapon power testing for new forms. The protagonist executes powerful blows, easily severing dragon heads before ground jumping. Game systems notify Marcus about 200-point acquisition for single dragon head destruction. Marcus declares this exchange rate produces 1,600 points for all 8 objectives, adding excellent deal recognition. However, after seconds, severed dragon heads begin regeneration while rapidly regrowing. Marcus expresses extreme surprise at this dragon feature, while noting memory absence regarding such previous powers. According to him, year ago dragons represented much more honest monsters than current versions. However, Marcus suddenly experiences brilliant inspiration while contemplating briefly. Examining dragon heads, he realizes single-head 200-point rewards with endless dragon regeneration. However, this additionally signifies convenient endless point farming methods. The dragon hears Marcus's thoughts while clearly expressing situation displeasure. Marcus draws his sword again while declaring fate gift exploitation under such circumrexes. He rushes into attacks while beginning successive dragon head severing, gaining incredible point quantities. After duration, he eliminates all dragon heads simultaneously before landing ahead of them. Attention to scoring reveals 8,000-point accumulation during this brief period. Viewers observe Marcus's adventures while declaring definite criminal status for dirty method point earning. Executive directors, also observing events, become furious while questioning technical staff miscalculation possibilities. According to him, such low-level farming exploits shouldn't exist within their gaming systems. Staff declares this boss should destroy any current stage players, preventing expectation of such developments. Another employee questions directors about current required actions, while adding monster data change impossibility. Directors call subordinates idiots while declaring choicelessness, except special restriction additions. Turning toward monitors, he adds Marcus's amazing player status, since his actions force rule changes for all playing areas. Meanwhile, system notifications appear above Marcus's head, declaring new round restrictions introducing 30-minute floor completion requirements. Rex, positioned on alternative servers, also receives these notifications while expressing gladness about advanced monster elimination. Luna, having also successfully destroyed all opponents, expresses surprise at dramatic game rule changes. Tournament viewers express surprise at these developments while suspecting restriction additions solely preventing Marcus's endless point farming. Less than minute and a half remains until round conclusion, while Marcus realizes his golden time expiration. He changes spear configurations while declaring normal players' inability to destroy all heads through single hits. He adds fortunate appropriate card extraction for occasions. Marcus reveals his card while disclosing arrow volley ownership, allowing bow or crossbow-armed players multiple arrow firing per shot. With these words, Marcus activates cards while charging them with arrow energy. Drawing bowstring backward, Marcus decides on sky-piercing arrow shooting at demonic dragons. He conjures arrow destruction for all heads before bowstring release. Powerful shots penetrate all heads simultaneously while depriving monsters of regeneration capabilities. Marcus changes weapon configurations to blade forms while declaring incomplete status. The protagonist executes dashes while delivering powerful blows, severing all heads simultaneously. Huge monsters fall heavily groundward, while systems reward Marcus with additional points for all destroyed heads. Severed monster heads begin transformation into shining energy clots. After seconds, energy bundles transform into valuable loot, representing equipment items. Marcus expresses happiness about finally obtaining good loot while reading demonic dragon cloak descriptions, protecting wearers from fire attacks. Systems notify all players about player Marcus's first 8-headed demonic dragon elimination while receiving unique dragon cloaks. The girl previously observing Marcus at tower ground floors notices these announcements while hoping to avoid competition encounters with him. Meanwhile, identical notifications sound on tournament broadcasts, causing viewers surprise about Marcus's best reward acquisition methods. Former participants observe his successes enviously while suspecting tournament company agent status. Luna also notices these announcements while declaring Marcus's modest behavior necessity instead of conrexed exhibition opportunities. Rex, observing this, declares complete unsurprise at Marcus's best performance demonstrations. His opponent questions knowledge about this divine player occupying top player list positions. Rex happily responds about not only knowing Marcus, but also maintaining comrade-in-arms relationships. Meanwhile, Marcus decides on cape trials while noting that despite average attributes, capes appear damn stylish on him. However, subsequent narcissism rituals receive system notification interruption, informing him about 13 remaining seconds for next floor advancement. Marcus expresses surprise at continued timer operation despite boss completion while calling games unfair. However, realizing justice absence on his side, he exerts maximum effort flying upstairs at full velocity toward next floors. Running toward rooms, Marcus kicks doors down while realizing timely arrival, stopping for brief breathing recovery. Looking upward, he notices 3 players awaiting him in next floor rooms, including girls he previously observed at Tower Beginnings. Having examined her closely, he remembers her past life, skillful and strong player status. Marcus introduces himself while declaring honor at being with such beauty. The girl responds that Marcus's notoriety precedes him, ensuring everyone's room knowledge about him. Nearby sitting girls declare Marcus's strongest player status among all while adding little fan status, introducing herself as Martha. The older man declares ignorance about facing 2 strong players while introducing himself as Francis. Marcus decides on reintroduction while questioning the girl's name. The girl responds about Morgan naming while declaring formality completion capability, since her exclusive objective involves floor completion. Screens appear before players displaying messages about second-floor escape room themes, where players require key discovery for next floor door opening. Marcus admits unfortunate extreme inadequacy at all non-combat related activities. Martha reports frequent escape room attendance, ensuring excellent under-rexting. Morgan declares this game may differ from Martha's previous participation due to greatly increased difficulty. Marcus declares escape room requirements, preventing next floor advancement until key discovery. Francis points toward table boxes while suggesting potential solution keys. Marcus reaches toward boxes while declaring excessive task simplicity if correctness exists. Marcus decides on slight box shaking, but Morgan immediately delivers excellent head slaps. Taking boxes into her hands, she carefully examines them through cautious hand rotation. Martha approaches the protagonist while stroking his head, declaring imminent healing. Morgan declares caution necessity since internal trap possibilities exist easily. Having carefully examined boxes, she draws attention toward inscriptions requiring player key discovery. Martha declares exact escape room design methods, explaining single riddle leading toward others. Thus, solving everything enables floor passage. Francis declares room size limitations while suggesting everyone engage in key searches. Morgan questions Marcus about his planned thoughts. Marcus responds about option absence while deciding on key search participation. Players begin box searching while examining every corner and checking every possible location. After some duration, Morgan declares complete examination without clue discovery. Martha declares apparent personal action necessity for everyone's deadlock escape. With that, she produces effect cards assisting wearers in clue searches. Marcus notes incredible ability interest, while Francis notices red piano illumination. Marcus declares key search intentions while wondering about piano key significance. Morgan declares that beyond simple lock keys, this could additionally signify treble clefs. She adds that if keys represent piano keys, specific melody playing will solve riddles. Marcus sits at pianos while declaring slight piano playing knowledge, requesting companion concessions. He informs Morgan about effortless melody playing capability while stretching fingers. Martha expresses surprise at Marcus's abilities while admiring his additional musical skills. Morgan questions Marcus about genuine piano-playing knowledge. Marcus declares childhood music education, ensuring easy task management. Marcus declares forthcoming companion charming through musical talents before performance beginnings. Marcus's musical talents equal only his self-esteem while filling rooms with incredible sound cacophony. Morgan decides on Marcus's life termination to avoid torture while questioning genuine piano-playing knowledge. Marcus stupidly responds about kindergarten teacher personal music lesson provision. Morgan breaks free from Martha and Francis' hands while beginning Marcus beatings without strength sparing. Marcus questions Morgan's cruelty while declaring friend habit similarities, receiving Morgan's responses about inappropriate fooling time before piano sitting. Morgan begins piano playing while performing very beautiful melodies, hitting all notes effortlessly. Martha enjoys music while declaring truly divine melody status. Francis notes that despite musical inadequacy, he genuinely enjoys Morgan's playing observations. Morgan completes melodies while companions enthusiastically applaud her. Boxes produce clicking sounds with lid opening while Martha happily runs for content verification. Marcus questions Morgan about skillfully performed tune names. Morgan responds about very sad foreign melodies called Moth and Flame. This naming makes Marcus contemplative while beginning significance considerations. Suddenly realizing catches, he shouts at Martha for urgent box escape. Small flamethrowers appear beside boxes while showering little Martha with flame streams. Marcus yanks Martha away while climbing towards safety, questioning girl conditions. However, looking downward, he observes only charred body remnants of children. Marcus punches walls ragefully while declaring earlier knowledge would have enabled child salvation. Morgan calmly responds that Marcus shouldn't blame himself since definite knowledge about song title trap keys remained impossible. Francis points out Martha's game loss only with real-world safety maintenance. He adds that current most important tasks involve box-hidden key acquisition. Marcus observes surroundings while declaring fire extinguisher absence appearance, with ground box burning producing defeats. Morgan requests task assignment while producing red tournament cards. Morgan's cards reveal tidal wave effects, allowing violent wave creation attacking enemies. Morgan easily extinguishes fires while leaving boxes safe and sound. Morgan regrets rapid-fire outbreaks while declaring otherwise possible Martha salvation. Francis expresses hope about no additional trap awaiting. Marcus declares emergency circumrexes where his coat possesses fire resurrexy, enabling box handling. Taking boxes, Marcus examines contents while expressing surprise at very strange key appearances. Keys reveal themselves as 3 red, yellow, and blue spheres. System screens appear before players declaring glass ball breaking provides each player 1 clue while adding false clue existence. But all players must communicate clue information for floor departure method discovery. Marcus declares system truth requirements for ball breaking and information acquisition, followed by information combination for escape route discovery. Marcus, Morgan, and Francis simultaneously break balloons while briefly plunging into cyberspace. Marcus feels system declarations about victory requiring sacrifice before real-world return. Opening eyes, he informs companions about system communications. Morgan responds about hint reception declaring difficult path-eye requirements. They both question sadly silent Francis about clue acquisition. Francis declares his clue involves room door opening when comrade deaths occur. Marcus declares this clue reality would have produced door opening during Martha's death, concluding fake status. Francis hesitantly agrees while declaring his hint sounds excessively strange for reality. Marcus combines his clue words with Morgan's while beginning significance contemplation. Morgan declares potential eye-shaped item requirements. Marcus declares extreme boredom with new item searches while adding game method obsolescence. Morgan declares even book information can conceal clues while requesting companion carefulness. Marcus questions Morgan about ordinary eye search object possibilities. Meanwhile, Francis observes with gloomy moods while Morgan rummages through bookcases. Exploiting Morgan's trust, he quietly produces item cards while summoning weapons. He declares genuine victory desires before axe swinging while requesting Morgan's death. However, Morgan turns around while quick kicks throw Francis several meters away. Francis strikes tables while briefly stunning from impact forces. He reaches toward axes, but Marcus's energy arrows pierce his arms, rendering incapacitation. Morgan observes Francis while declaring his clear deficiency. Marcus declares unexpected Morgan observation while adding her decent status. Marcus addresses Francis again while demanding genuine clue revelations. Francis holds injured arms while desperately declaring their victory achievement if stoppage hadn't occurred. He reveals clue declarations about teammate killing requirements for next floor door opening. Marcus continues Francis' reasoning while declaring Morgan ambushed decisions due to apparent weakness compared to Marcus. Morgan observes Marcus while instructing against baseless arrogance. Marcus immediately changes expressions while declaring humor intentions without heart-taking. Marcus questions Francis about fake tip certainty. Francis loses composure while declaring obviousness, since Marcus's clue states victory requiring sacrifice, signifying consistency. Marcus declares logical Francis word sense with near-belief achievement. With these words, he produces swords while declaring perpetual unforgiveness toward comrade harm attempts. Francis tearfully requests Marcus's action patience while providing additional opportunity grants. However, Marcus remains relentless while ending Francis' gaming sessions through single sword blows. Having wiped swords, Marcus declares all traitor punishment with maximum cruelty. Morgan expresses surprise at Marcus's cold-blooded and cruel actions despite comical behavior. Morgan declares Marcus's apparent previous betrayal since strong reactions toward Francis' behaviors occur. Marcus declares previous betrayal by most trusted individuals. He turns heads toward Morgan while declaring current traitor payment enforcement. Marcus notes door closure maintenance, signifying Francis' tip fake status. Morgan approaches doors while wondering about two remaining clue meanings. Lost in thoughts, she accidentally presses secret door buttons, opening hidden scanners. Marcus approaches doors while questioning Morgan about fingerprint scanner device status, receiving retinal scanner responses. Marcus pulls eyelids backward while declaring easy scanner operation verification. Scanners check Marcus's eyes while reporting user identification failure. Marcus utilizes alternative iris acquisition needs from somewhere for door unlocking. Morgan reads clues aloud again while wondering about potential meanings. Marcus declares complete clarity while adding retinal scanner hard choice requirements for eyes observing hard choices. They turn around, observing busts with hidden internal eyes while Morgan approaches for retrieval. Marcus suddenly realizes Cat's existence while shouting at Morgan for patience, but timing fails. Morgan extracts eyes while turning toward Marcus, questioning his meanings. A second later, rooms receive trap bisection, separating both heroes. Marcus observes hole formations while declaring crossing impossibility even with genuine desires. Marcus recalls his clue while realizing sacrifice significance requires Morgan abandonment for personal escape. Morgan declares excessive carelessness while believing tournament participation termination approached. With these words, she shouts at Marcus against eye loss while throwing it across abysses into the protagonist's hands. Marcus definitively catches his eye while questioning Morgan's motivations. Morgan responds about his salvation while returning favors, adding floor collapse imminence requiring next floor urgency. Marcus nods at Morgan's words while carefully scanning room environments. He positions eyes toward retinal scanners, achieving successful identification while reporting door lock opening. Doors creak open while Marcus observes passages flooded with sunlight. Morgan mentally wonders at behavioral patterns while noting thoughts about self-sacrifice for barely known men never occurred. Suddenly, rope-attached arrows fly near her while crashing into wall positions behind her. Marcus produces metal rods while utilizing them for Morgan rolling approaches. Having successfully crossed abysses, he lands beside her while holding Francis's ice axes. Morgan examines his axe while Marcus responds about extraction from so-called comrade bodies. Morgan declares interest absence while questioning Marcus's presence here. Marcus declares plans enabling both individuals' floor passage. He adds that fools never utilized weapons toward full potential. Morgan declares underrexting about his implications while Marcus responds about insight confidence. With these words, heroes assume positions while Morgan utilizes tidal wave cards, creating water. As soon as large waves reach opposite abyss edges, Marcus shouts about action timing while throwing axes forward. Axes crash into water while inrextly freezing them. After seconds, waves transform into strong ice bridges, which cannot endure extended duration. Morgan tests bridge strength while expressing surprise at actual plan functionality. Marcus grasps Morgan's hand while declaring urgency requirements for timely completion. Morgan questions protagonist's salvation motivations while adding plan failure certainty about definite death. Marcus informs her about thoughtless considerations, since teammate abandonment never occurs. With these words, he remembers Rex and Luna declarations about friends providing hesitation-free Rex. Morgan questions his comrade identities while receiving definite future information promises. After duration, they reach central rooms containing notices declaring solo next stage completion requirements. Marcus informs companions about separation necessity while adding definite post-stage meeting assurance. Marcus adds luck wishes for stage passage success. Morgan turns around smiling while waving at him, providing identical wishes. Marcus enters emerging cyberspace while wondering about forthcoming events. A second later, he notices razor-sharp knives flying toward his face at tremendous velocity. This knife-bearer reveals Todd, previously Marcus eliminated during first rounds, screaming at protagonist for immediate death. Realizing Todd's armor matching first elimination's circumrexes, Marcus expresses surprise while managing few curse emissions toward Todd. However, Todd flies beside him while eliminating monsters sneaking toward Marcus from behind. Turning around, Marcus cannot believe observations while questioning Todd about current developments. Todd positions hands upon Marcus's shoulders while instructing against stationary positioning, adding final stage requirements for collaborative efforts. Marcus suspects reincarnation humor represented illusions while wondering about reality authenticity. Absorbed in contemplation, he remains unaware of huge monster appearances behind him, attempting single-sitting Marcus consumption. At identical seconds, Rex emerges from nowhere while informing Marcus about his monster point acquisition. Swinging swords, he severs huge monster heads through single blows. Luna responds while declaring Rex's Earth monster management capability while she handles flying creatures. With these words, she executes numerous well-aimed shots while eliminating flying monsters successively. Suddenly, monstrous beast hordes appear from nowhere before heroes while rushing headlong toward them. Morgan provides hero Rex while declaring exhibition behaviors, accusing unreliability. Raising magic staffs overhead, she activates in-rexed flood skills while creating huge tsunamis. Waves in-rexly cover monsters while sweeping them completely from Earth surfaces. Marcus observes comrade coherence while declaring incredible strength acquisition. Suddenly, Rex approaches protagonist positions behind while positioning hands upon shoulders, questioning rooted positioning. Marcus turns around while observing all comrades in complete combat readiness. Luna approaches him while questioning nervousness about championship proximity. Marcus observes Luna while questioning her statement meanings. Morgan responds about team victory certainty while adding leadership championship title reception. Todd declares Marcus's stage reaching enablement for teams while requesting first-place achievement memory. Approaching building edges, Marcus notices huge player crowds chanting his name. Meanwhile, real-world journalists interview tournament creators while questioning current competition stage structuring. Creators respond about tower stage creation, displaying player desire manifestations. Journalists question creators about test selection if KOG tournament objectives involve best player discovery. Creators respond about character testing stage design while adding temptation. Overcoming failure prevents championship title ownership. Meanwhile, participants observe handsome individuals in stages declaring basketball instruction capabilities. However, after seconds, transformations into terrible monsters occur, while inrexly eliminating unsuspecting victims. Meanwhile, Rex positions in stages embracing girls who reciprocate while requesting permanent proximity promises. She also transforms into terrible evil spirits, preparing Rex elimination through single blows. Rex embraces creatures tightly while declaring excessive missing, but after seconds he displaces her while declaring round dead disturbance excess. With these words, he grasps machetes while bisecting creatures pretending dear-person relationships, advancing toward next stages while receiving 1,000-point rewards. Luna, meanwhile, experiences esports arena transportation, where she and former squads receive world championship crowning. Teammates embrace her while offering victory celebration through restaurant or karaoke visits. Luna admits perpetual championship victory dreams as squad representative. Meanwhile, friends transform into clay monsters, attempting body consumption. However, after seconds, accurate pistol fire transforms monsters into sieves while causing death. Luna observes monster body remainders while blowing weapon barrel smoke away. She adds existing genuine friend relationships with sincere behaviors. Morgan experiences luxurious mansion transportation where whimsical piano melodies play. She sits before them while continuing beautiful melody performances cherished during childhood. Suddenly, light applause emerges with familiar male voices praising efforts. Morgan inrexly recognizes voices while turning toward men, calling them father. Morgan's father informs her about musical ability surpassing his own within years. He approaches while declaring identical happiness about desired activity pursuit. Morgan calmly utilizes tide cards while washing fathers away, slamming them into walls. Rising upright, she declares incredibly boring test outcomes since complete idiots exclusively fall for tricks. Meanwhile, Marcus basks in glory while rejoicing about strong ally tournament first place ease. However, seconds later, monstrous hands penetrate through him while tearing hearts out. Turning around, Marcus notices all comrades revealed as monsters awaiting proper moments. Marcus collapses groundward while expiring seconds later, providing monsters joyful, roaring reasons. However, seconds later, Marcus appears behind them while declaring simulation acknowledgement, noting authenticity. Observing monsters, he declares special card pre-stage usage representing correct decisions. With these words, he displays sacrificial lamb cards enabling bearers' non-combat skill copy creation. Afterward, he produces bows while declaring world hatred toward traitors, exceeding everything. Rapidly aiming, he shoots Todd-imitating monsters in heads while punching huge holes. Without allowing monster recovery, he rushes attacks while inrexly executing additional monsters. Having finished all monsters, he notes excessive weakness while suggesting test difficulty involves illusion overcoming. Systems notify protagonists about successful test passage while awarding 1,000 points. He turns around while observing staircase appearances leading toward next stages. For seconds, he contemplates comrade test management capabilities before interior advancement. Fourth floors reveal death labyrinths where player health gradually decreases, while other player elimination provides replenishment. Systems add victory requirements for maze center reaching while wishing everyone good luck. Marcus lacks several tens of meter walking when two players appear behind him while rejoicing about next victim discovery. Marcus hears conversations while turning toward their directions for careful observation. Players inform Marcus about health resetting prevention, requiring elimination while requesting personal offense avoidance. Marcus raises hands airborne while beginning 3-count countdowns. One player questions counting significance while adding life second counting preferences. Marcus ignores word attention while continuing countdown progression, declaring 2 remaining seconds. Another player declares Marcus's coolness attempts while adding death and health replenishment. Marcus raises single fingers while providing opponents menacing expressions. At identical seconds, huge tidal waves appear beside Marcus's opponents. Before reaction timing, players experience trap capture while turbulent currents sweeping. They experience labyrinth ejection toward lowest floors. Marcus observes downward while expressing surprise about loud water sound hearing failure. Without turning around, he informs approaching individuals that only Morrigan possesses such water attacks. Having assumed beautiful poses, he greets Morrigan while declaring previous stage delays. However, huge pumped men in women's suits position before him while happily greeting. Marcus observes new guests with undisguised surprise while questioning identities. Seconds later, Morrigan approaches while introducing men as classmate Alice, adding pathway encounters and teaming decisions. Marcus continues rooted positioning while expressing additional surprise at new details, declaring Alice's name appropriateness. Alice shyly covers herself while coquettishly requesting Marcus against blushing causation. Marcus realizes argument exhaustion while deciding on slight rest through stationary positioning. Morrigan questions Marcus's arrival delays while adding death consideration beginnings. Marcus declares stupid illusion status while boasting about easy deception under Rexting. Alice sincerely admits considerable stage passage difficulty with near-deception experiences. Marcus instructs Alice against worry since test reaching demonstrates exceptional strength. Alice blushes again while declaring Marcus's incredible courtesy and kindness. She grasps Marcus while questioning single status or girlfriend possession. Marcus cannot locate response words while rushing back and forth, producing only incomprehensible sounds. Morrigan declares Marcus's popular player status while adding Alice opportunity provision due to excellent girl qualities. Marcus declares inappropriate timing for considerations while adding primary cursed maze escape requirements. Morrigan declares maze right-hand rules, stating dead-end wall walking eventually produces maze exits. She additionally notes excessive labyrinth sizes with gradual health decreases, rendering options unsuitable. Marcus declares simple following for maze escape. Marcus begins pocket rummaging while declaring unexpected card utility thoughts for situations. Marcus produces drone cards summoning scout drones for 3-minute durations. Marcus declares easy labyrinth mapping and test passage using these maps. With these words, he launches reconnaissance drones upward while control panel activation. Drones capture several maze photographs while Marcus observes maps, noting excessive confusion. Marcus declares confusing maze map, Rex potential absence. Morrigan intercepts remotes from Marcus while declaring excessive slowness, adding escape route discovery using maps. Marcus observes Morrigan questioningly while requesting first sight maze escape discovery methods. Alice positions hands upon protagonist's shoulders while declaring school Morrigan genius recognition with highest IQ. Meanwhile, maze-stuck players notice minimal health remainder while declaring test failure accompanied by excellent experiences. However, seconds later, players feel revolver back shooting. Turning around, he observes girls regarding him contentedly while thanking first aid kit service. After seconds, round shadows hang over girls while rapidly increasing sizes. Girls observe upward while discovering huge boulders falling at high velocity. Before reaction capabilities, girls experience huge boulder crushing. Marcus arrives at scenes while declaring trap disarmament completion, adding Morrigan's genuine genius through location calculation capabilities. Morrigan responds about easy task completion since rapid Fibonacci sequence trap realization. Girls grasp Marcus's legs while requesting trap escape Rex. Marcus agrees Rex provision while eliminating her through rapid sword blows. Morrigan informs Marcus about complete gentleness, knowledge absence while receiving responses about girl request fulfillment. He adds circumrextial trader Rexy refusal even through knee requests. Alice approaches Marcus while declaring cocky and decisive character observations, adding craziness about him while Marcus calmly responds about gladness regarding hearing. Marcus informs Morgan about theory correctness, implying Fibonacci sequence, fewer trap waiting at conclusions. Morgan responds about beginning player elimination maximization, while adding exit proximity health depletion acceleration. At identical seconds, arrows fly toward Morgan while Marcus jerks body protection. He observes surroundings while declaring enemy pursuit completion, signifying battle preparation timing. Several player silhouettes appear in labyrinth corridors while declaring health point acquisition opportunity discovery. Players declare numerical superiority over Marcus and teams while eliminating chances. Marcus declares odd satisfaction while adding non-primary situations for such circumrexes. Suddenly, Alice appears behind inattentive players while achieving surprise capture. Without recovery timing provision, she grasps two player heads while inrexly eliminating them. Remaining three players turn backward while questioning monster origin locations. However, this exposes attack vulnerability while Marcus immediately exploits circumrexes, eliminating additional players using swords. Alice charges remaining player pairs who again turn away from her. Having managed opponents, Alice declares eye-keeping about Marcus, while adding exceptional strength, receiving weak designation impossibility responses. Meanwhile, several players reach strange gates while suggesting maze exit discovery. One player declares warning provision about X-ray glasses, enabling rapid exit discovery. However, open doors immediately produce fireball penetration, while guys inrexedly collapse dead. Players express ambush surprise while deciding interior hall examination for comrade killer under rexting. Small illumination activates within darkness while children's voices joyfully declare new prey arrival. Halls begin dim light illumination while players notice hall-end little girls sitting upon gates. She questions players about ground-burning permission denial. Players grasp weapons while deciding against impudent girl ceremony, rushing toward attacks. They fire all calibers while causing temporary view disappearance. However, smoke clearance reveals tall men covering girls without single scratch reception. One player points fingers at men and girls horrifically while declaring couple hearing. According to him, names include Dorothy and Dell with exclusive player elimination point acquisition recognition. Players decide against drifting while declaring numerous superiority providing elimination chances. Dorothy happily declares play happiness while producing red effect cards. Seconds later, powerful labyrinth explosions occur with any point observation capability. Morgan and Marcus notice huge flame pillars while wondering about developments. Marcus declares increasing interest while offering investigation advancement. Approaching explosion sites, they discover numerous charred body heaps. Entering halls, Marcus and comrades observe Dell sitting upon body piles while questioning solitary elimination accomplishment. Alice hides behind Marcus while declaring extreme fear, requesting comfort while Morgan declares universal caution since powerful fire spell player elimination. Dell chuckles slightly while observing Marcus and squads mentally bidding farewells. Marcus realizes trap existence while pushing Alice aside. Seconds later, bright fire streams fly toward rexting positions while incinerating floors. Dorothy appears from nowhere while revealing invisibility cards enabling wearer invisibility dissipating upon first attacks. Dell instructs Dorothy toward caution while adding Marcus's non-weakling appearances. Alice declares guy-jumping unfamiliarity while adding embarrassment causation. Marcus slaps Alice's cheeks while instructing composure and seriousness. Dorothy points at Marcus while declaring memory, identifying first player list and point positions. Marcus realizes narcissism opportunity presence while declaring correct guessing about genuine identity. Alice again lovingly observes Marcus while declaring incredible modesty, while Morgan declares circus fatigue beginnings. Dell declares interesting beginnings while adding first place, Marcus implications about excellent loot possession. Dell rushes attacks while declaring fortune regarding prey discovery, since Marcus's possessions transfer to him. Marcus produces spears while declaring Dell's desire enablement through removal attempts. Alice bursts into phrase while declaring Dell's man-touching prohibition without knowledge. Marcus observes Alice while shouting caution instructions against trouble involvement. Alice collides her fist with Dell's fist while generating powerful shock waves. Impact forces send Alice flying toward walls at maximum velocity, while Marcus observes large smoke columns rising from collisions. Marcus questions Alice's condition, while Morgan expresses genuine surprise about someone defeating Alice in fistfight encounters. Alice declares arm fracture sensations while expressing surprise at Dell's exceptional fist strength. Marcus declares memory correctness about pair scoreboard expertise while adding differences from all previously faced opponents. Dell declares body possession of special mountain body effects, enabling user body transformation into rock-like strength while greatly increasing defensive and offensive capabilities. Dell completely transforms his body into stone while declaring Marcus's first-place status won't ensure meeting survival. He prepares combat while questioning Marcus's immediate death readiness. Marcus only informs Dell about extremely ugly appearances, provoking furious jump attack responses. Utilizing agility, Marcus easily avoids attacks through lateral jumping. The protagonist notes that despite everything, Dell possesses extremely powerful attack capabilities. However, thought distraction prevents Marcus from noticing Dell's incredible speed approach while preparing fatal attack delivery. However, Marcus recovers timing while avoiding attacks, noticing Dell's attack exposure. Realizing turn arrival, he delivers confident blows while attempting Dell's stone body spear penetration. However, spears fail to inflict significant Dell damage, while only slightly scratching Stone's skin. Marcus expresses surprise at observations while failing to under-XD absolute physical damage protection acquisition methods. Dell grins disdainfully while declaring first-place point table person expectations. Declaring extreme disappointment, Dell inflicts powerful protagonist kicks while throwing him backward. Alice screams Marcus's name while rushing Asirex for mid-flight interception. Alice fails Marcus' deceleration while together flying into stone walls. They crash into barriers forcefully, but Alice softens blows with body positioning, enabling Marcus's reduced damage escape. Marcus questions Alice's condition while adding death declarations. Alice squeezes words about gladness regarding Marcus' catching capabilities. Looking upward, Marcus observes fiery meteorite hail falling upon him, and Alice while threatening second incineration. However, suddenly water barriers created by Morrigan begin appearing before them. Waves obscure heroes while completely neutralizing Dorothy's fiery threats. Dorothy declares Morrigan's interesting toy possession since meteorite swarm blocking occurred. Morrigan responds about Dorothy's non-exclusive elemental ability usage while again utilizing tidal wave cards. At identical seconds, Dell rushes toward Dorothy for companion defense. Dell blocks strong water flows with body positioning while maintaining Dorothy's complete safety. Morrigan approaches Marcus and Alice while questioning safety and condition status. Alice apologizes to companions while declaring unfortunate rising in capability. Marcus leans toward Alice while declaring action irrelevance, adding management capabilities. Marcus declares forthcoming battle victory, Asirex, while Morrigan responds about laurel prevention. Dell declares perfect team status with Dorothy while adding universal death outcomes. Marcus rushes battle return with spears while declaring genuine entertainment beginning timing. Dell also rushes forward while striking Marcus, achieving inrexed stoppage. Immediately, fiery meteorite swarms fall upon Marcus and Dell, while one strikes protagonist opponents directly. Marcus expresses surprise at Dell's random attack energy quantities. Dell responds about body skills, including attack and defense, plus fire and water attack immunity, while adding temperature-based strength increases. He throws additional punches attempting Marcus's block penetration, while adding team invincibility. Marcus's spear cannot withstand rexed blow impacts while tips break from shafts, falling groundward with penetration. Marcus declares heat and stone body combination excellence while adding Dell's interesting strategy formulation. Dell declares Marcus's weapon onslaught failure with breakage while questioning surrender desires. Marcus adds that despite Circumrex's weak spot discovery finally occurred. Dell instructs Marcus against toughness acting while calmly accepting death. With these words, Dell delivers powerful facial blows toward Marcus, but easy avoidance occurs. Marcus suddenly appears behind Dell while informing Morrigan about attack timing arrival. Dell turns toward Morrigan while receiving huge tidal wave impacts, achieving in-rexed cooling. Dell slowly advances while large steam clouds emanate from body positions. Dell declares disappointment about expectations exceeding simple water splashing. Marcus explains that after such high-temperature achievement with in-rexed cooling, major body changes will occur. Following Marcus's words, Dell's body begins fading and cracking. Dell examines body conditions while observing large piece detachment beginnings. Infuriated, he questions Marcus about body modifications. Marcus informs him about universal weakness existence regardless of position or ranking. He adds Dell's incredible defense strength, but dodge magical attack incapability consequences. Marcus declares exploitation for time stalling until ally red-hot body achievement. However, hot stone sharp cooling through thermal expansion produces simple stone breakage. Morrigan instructs Marcus against fooling around while encouraging business focus. Dell declares Circumrex irrelevance since Marcus elimination time remains available. Marcus declares Dell's truth accuracy, but cooling consequences include speed reduction. He adds fragility increase while thrusting spears into back positions. Dell releases loud screams while attracting mysterious players under-rexting exit directions for advancement. Marcus turns while declaring remaining small annoying girl management requirements. However, suddenly they notice girl disappearance without danger presence. Morrigan declares invisibility card possession, enabling chaos utilization for escape. Morrigan adds problem elimination certainty while offering reward examination suggestions. Dell begins coughing while Marcus jumps frightfully, expressing post-impact survival surprise. Dell declares Marcus's genuine first-place right deserving, while adding head inflation prevention. He adds defeat, achievement, acknowledgement, but much stronger opponent encounters await, while Marcus responds about knowledge possession. Dell produces self-destruct cards while questioning response declarations. Marcus covers Morrigan while advising escape, while mentally under-rexting self-destruction activation, prevention timing absence. However, suddenly, someone severs Dell's hands through lightning strikes. Dell turns sideways while disbelieving observations, continuing frantic forward gazing. Next seconds, first blows follow with dozens more, while Dell's body transforms into sieves. Marcus turns toward strangers while declaring arrogant hitting style recognition. Strangers declare Dell's blood-blooming requirements during glorious moments like flowers. Marcus declares player recognition while adding perpetual strange speaking patterns. Strangers introduce themselves as swordsman Li Han while observing Marcus and Morrigan with interest. Morrigan questions his desires while producing tidal wave maps, but Marcus provides stoppage. Marcus mentally remembers Li Han's exceptional strength with previous fighting opportunity absence. With these words, he briefly plunges into memories while observing Li Han rexting upon Corpse Mountains. Li Han continues curious Marcus observation before seconds later recognition while declaring names. Marcus informs Li Han about accuracy confirmation regarding genuine identity. Li Han declares Marcus's injury status while adding weakened opponent fighting refusal before calm turning and protagonist passage. Marcus feels annoyance about Li Han's coolness exploitation advantage, but Morrigan remains unimpressed while declaring Li Han's childish appearances. Li Han approaches hall gates while unsheathing katanas for ritual performance. With rapid dual swings, he creates cross-shaped waves flooding halls with blue illumination. Turning around, he informs Marcus about weakness while adding definite fighting with strength improvement requirements. Alice, having finally assumed usual forms, embraces Marcus while questioning preferred forms, adding readiness for any assumption. Marcus, unaccustomed to female attention, breaks into smiles while declaring both preferences. Suddenly, he turns attention toward Morrigan, while stern appearances in Rexley produce cheerfulness and composure recovery. He instructs Alice toward concentration while inviting everyone toward maze center advancement. Systems notify about remaining maze player numbers reaching 0. However, Labyrinth Silence receives in-rexed Alice interruption, who, assuming stone forms, creates pathways through labyrinth walls toward centers. Having created team pathways, she admits extreme fatigue while resuming usual forms. Marcus jumps over ruins while declaring wall breakthrough method effectiveness knowledge, while Morrigan follows, declaring exclusive thought capability. Having reached maze centers, heroes discover system notifications congratulating maze completion while adding 30-minute team creation periods for 4-person next stage completion. Marcus reads texts while noting fortunate rule consistency maintenance. Morrigan declares next-level team testing assumptions, while first arrivals enable stronger player teaming priorities. Alice declares fourth teammate unnecessity opinions, since 3-person excellence already exists. Marcus responds about disagreement while adding genuine desires for specific individual team observation. After 27 minutes, maze centers fill with exit-capable individuals, while everyone begins team searching. Some players declare 2-person requirements possessing minimum dual ability cards. Other players attempt pity pressure while requesting team acceptance, promising request fulfillment. One player approaches girls while questioning teammate requirements, declaring dual card possession with exceptional strength. Alice, receiving request direction, removes sunglasses while examining applicants. She refuses players while declaring sunlight ray blockage, adding strength superiority, impossibility, rendering unsuitability. Morrigan declares 3 remaining countdown minutes, while Marcus's awaited person failed appearance. Marcus declares individual proximity while adding mild direxy scent detection capabilities. Players express surprise at nearby sakura petal appearances while beginning environmental observation. Lihan arrives at labyrinth centers while declaring lateness due to extended pathway walking. Players observe Lihan with bewilderment while calling him strange eccentric individuals. Marcus declares arrogance, scent, confusion, impossibility, while Morrigan questions Marcus about prolonged waiting disappointment. Marcus greets Lian while questioning team joining desires, adding single-person shortage. Lian declares forced protagonist refusal since personal victory requirements exclude others. Systems notify all players about 1 remaining preparation minute while adding teamless player disqualification. Marcus declares Lihan's eventual team joining necessity while adding exponential victory chance increases with Marcus teams. Lihan requests Marcus's victory chance improvement clarification. Marcus declares Marcu's team positioning with Lihan eliminates rivalry with premature fighting prevention. Lihan responds about certain logic existence while declaring team formation acceptability. Marcus informs Lihan about team welcome gladness while handshaking. Countdowns conclude while non-team formation players receive automatic disqualification. Systems notify players about door selection requirements for Endless Tower Adventure continuation. Marcus and teams select doors while advancing towards second-round final stages. After duration, they discover themselves in dungeons containing metal bar arenas. Morgan carefully examines arenas while assuming final test positioning. Systems welcome players to final challenges called Death Cages, where teams must select single representatives for cage entry and other team fighting until member exhaustion. Alice declares one-on-one fighting produces pocket victory certainty. Systems add cage defeat player advancement prevention regardless of team results. Alice adds rule implications where first cage entries experience greatest disadvantages. Marcus declares accuracy while adding beginning player victim consideration, noting first players require 4 consecutive player confrontations. Li Han declares round creator intentions for internal team conflict generation. Morgan declares temporary team status eliminates self-sacrifice probability for team benefit. Systems request team candidate selections within single minutes while adding complete team disqualification otherwise. All four Marcus team players raise hands while expressing candidacy desires. Surprised by event outcomes, all squad members observe each other. Marcus concludes their team differences from everyone else. Li Han declares first advancement capability since four-player elimination ease. Marcus declares Lian team invitation novelty renders first sending rudeness. Morgan attempts Marcus stoppage while declaring extreme safety absence. Marcus instructs worry avoidance while adding greatest player status with simple test death prevention. Alice observes Marcus happily while declaring genuine appropriate man status. Marcus enters arenas while Metal Gates Creek shutdowns occur behind him. He mentally notes last test essence complete unchanged status from previous timing. Seconds later, several kunai fly toward him while easy deflection occurs, declaring pathetic trick impression absence. Ninja uniform players appear in arenas while Marcus declares Li Han first advancement preferences for Marcus Urai ninja battle observation. Ninjas respond about irrelevance since Marcus termination completion enables his confrontation anyway. With these words, they create numerous self-copies using cloning techniques. Marcus declares simple card effects while adding excessive ninja movie observation by individuals. Ninjas attack Marcus while declaring endless clone defeat impossibility. Marcus grasps spears while easily destroying clumsy opponents. Afterward, he rushes attacks while smashing clone succession using spears. However, a duration later, surrounded situations occur again while short breathing pause requirements emerge. Ninjas inform Marcus about effort futility since clone army defeat impossibility ultimately remains. Marcus disappointedly questions opponents about clone elimination point absence while adding grinding utilization desires. With these words, he transforms spears into bows while declaring time waste termination. Drawing bowstrings, he utilizes Hail of Arrows effect cards while shooting all shadow clones through single volleys. Marcus's opponents fall knee-ward while wondering about possibility while lamenting second clone army destruction. Marcus informs opponents about defeat requirements including Chibaku Tensei or Shinra Tensei utilization. He adds training improvement requirements before enemy spear impalement. However, enemies immediately dissipate like smoke clouds while leaving Marcus confused. Ninjas jump upon Marcus from behind while declaring training requirements for him. They pierce Marcus's bodies with canines, but illusion revelations occur. Ninjas cannot believe observations while attempting possibility comprehension. Marcus, appearing behind opponents, raises swords while informing opponents about confrontation inappropriateness. He delivers lightning strikes while inrextly eliminating ninjas, adding professional exhibition foolishness. Frail middle-aged men appear before Marcus while declaring first-round excessive rapidity. They observe fallen comrades while declaring ninja cosplaying mistakes, adding rapid loss causation. Marcus stretches joints while expressing hope about match interest provision. Viewers observing Marcus's endless narcissism begin writing luck wishes in chats with angry defeat hope comments. Men declare ninja suit players represented decoys while adding Marcus's non-impressive strength appearances. Marcus declares opponent permission for complete strength demonstrations. Men produce R2 cards while activating slippery type abilities. Marcus rushes attacks, but men easily avoid lightning attacks through card effect Asirex. Marcus notes opponent's slipperiness while adding fastest attack hitting impossibility. Men declare Marcus attack speed irrelevance while adding imperfect attack easy avoidance capability. Marcus jumps backward while informing opponents about nonsense fatigue. He declares blind-free opponent attempts while storm attack engagement. Attacks easily strike enemies while causing serious damage. Marcus declares opponent-exclusive dodge blow capabilities eliminate defeat possibilities. Men inform Marcus about excessive naivety, even for age considerations. They observe Marcus arrogantly while declaring Marcus's probable non-full strength previous battle engagement with trump card concealment. Marcus responds about obvious status while adding trump card game initiation absence. Men declare wonderful circumrexes while adding trump card ownership transfer. Marcus searches pockets while realizing mid-fight card theft by men. Men draw steal skill cards, enabling opponent unused card theft with effect application. Marcus accuses opponents about deliberate direxy closure for trump card theft. Men happily produce stolen cards while declaring Marcus's miserable defeat. Marcus's expressions change sharply while declaring opponent caution requirements for stolen cards. Men inform Marcus about mercy begging lateness while activating stolen cards, turning attention toward them. However, closer stolen card examination reveals Marcus's self-destruct card theft from Dell. Marcus bursts into laughter while declaring opponent incredible setback experiences. Men observe hands while realizing imminent explosion death. Falling into despair, they rush at Marcus while declaring accompanying death if personal demise occurs. Jumping upon protagonists, men declare escape pointlessness while adding collective ash transformation. Seconds later, powerful explosions occur while obscuring Marcus team observations. Alice begins sad lamentation, but Morgan declares premature despair. Smoke clears while Marcus appears before them using Alice-borrowed stone body maps. Morgan questions Alice about previous information withholding while adding serious Marcus fate concerns, receiving simple forgetfulness responses. Marcus informs opponents that theft never produces beneficial outcomes. Opponent ashes scatter while Marcus receives additional 500-point battle victory awards. Alice congratulates Marcus's victory while declaring excellent fighting, while Morgan notes nearly complete card utilization despite 2 remaining unknown opponents. Marcus's subsequent opponent reveals harmless girls, informing Marcus about easy friend defeats. She adds truthful defeat inability acknowledgement while begging Asirex, promising immediate surrender following request fulfillment. Marcus responds about stunning beauty, refusal impossibility. Girls admit ordinary streamer status while adding competition, PR acquisition desires exclusively. She declares famous individual interactions provide excellent popularity increase opportunities. Marcus declares stationary inactivity impossibility even under such circumstances. Girls respond about stream popularity enhancement concepts while offering game proposals. She adds rock, paper, scissors playing desires with Marcus while questioning comfort regarding such options. Marcus declares life-first beautiful girl encounters with action, uncertainty, acknowledgement, but request refusal, impossibility. Morgan expresses indignation at Marcus's behavior while calling him idiot, requesting rapid girl termination for test delay prevention. However, Lehan positions hands upon Morgan's shoulders while requesting patience, adding event development observation interests. Meanwhile, Marcus and opponents begin first game rounds where protagonists easily achieve victory. Marcus happily declares victory while demanding girl jacket removal. Streamers slowly undress while instructing Marcus against excessive pressure application. Marcus raises heads while shouting about special service provision for today's viewers. After continuous 5-minute play, Marcus questions opponent continuation desires while adding potential prohibition possibilities. Streamers inform termination acceptance while adding unexpected game inadequacy revelations. Marcus observes streamer underwear abandonment through single losses while realizing game weakness genuineness. Marcus declares carnival conclusion enabling combat, while streamers respond about battle commencement, requesting foot observation. Having recovered awareness, Marcus realizes quicksand pile positioning, preventing escape capabilities. Streamers declare card capabilities for inescapable quicksand creation. She adds trap activation duration requirements explaining game selection motivations. Marcus realizes increasing sand suction depth with imminent movement capability loss. Streamers scream about effort futility while adding movement speed, suction acceleration. Alice begins renewed upset while begging Marcus against defeat with next round advancement while Morgan maintains strength, declaring idiot surrender ease absence. Streamers declare first point number Marcus weakness demonstrations. With final strength, Marcus extracts maps from sand while summoning scout drones. Flying drones immediately appear from arena ceilings while descending toward Marcus's locations. Marcus manages drone leg grasping while commanding takeoff. Drones easily extract Marcus from sand while lifting him increasingly above sand surfaces. Marcus summons swords while declaring streamer trap impression absence. With these words, he descends stone-like while cutting rivals through single sharp sword blows. Systems again reward Marcus for opponent defeats while adding 500 account points. Morgan again calls Marcus idiot while declaring perpetual risk-taking where simpler routes existed. Marcus dresses while mentally noting cooldown-free card absence, requiring alternative escape methods. Turning around, he notices final opponent Dorothy with established familiarity. Marcus expresses surprise at final opponent identity while girls question alternative expectations. Marcus begins exhibition while declaring final opponent expectations for past defeat absence. Dorothy informs Marcus about complete previous round awareness, leaving Marcus cardless. She creates fireballs while declaring Frendel revenge timing. Marcus jumps sideways, attempting Dorothy's fiery attack avoidance. He summons bows while aiming, mentally remembering opponent body non-strength with single-hit sufficiency. However, Marcus immediately realizes Dorothy's invisibility card usage with visibility absence. Marcus declares expectation fulfillment while attempting rival location under Rexting. Dorothy observes protagonists while mentally declaring invisibility-based Marcus incapability. Exploiting opportunities, she again produces meteor swarms upon Marcus, but reflexes enable deadly attack avoidance. Alice declares unfairness, since Dorothy continues invisibility card usage. After duration, Marcus declares rival discovery. Producing bows, he begins Dorothy-directed aiming while casting arrow hail. Dorothy realizes Marcus is bluffing since visibility absence. However, Marcus raises arrows upward while ending skill activation. Dorothy observes upward while mentally wondering about Marcus's strange activities. Marcus's upward-fired arrows subsequently rush downward while covering large areas. Arrow hail falls groundward while landing throughout arenas, achieving sand embedding. Marcus turns around, attempting Dorothy body discovery, while realizing error occurrences. Huge fiery hurricanes rise before his face while advancing at high velocity. Before avoidance capability, Marcus suffers serious damage while flying several meters backward. Morgan loses composure while calling Marcus's name concernedly, hoping condition adequacy. Morgan declares excessive fire strength, rendering Marcus' survival unlikely, while Alice cannot restrain herself, beginning crying. Dorothy declares near-hit attack occurrences with simple misfortune, maintaining her safety. However, noticing continued Marcus movement, she observes him surprisingly while failing to underrex the possibility. Marcus praises Dorothy's efforts while declaring definite non-survival against additional similar attacks. He then points bows at Dorothy while declaring current visibility. Dorothy mentally declares impossibility since invisibility maintenance requirements. Realizing Marcus's purposeful aiming, she decides position changes through sand lateral running. Marcus rises while stringing bows, declaring conclusion timing. Releasing bowstrings, he strikes Dorothy chest center while achieving inrexed elimination. He approaches defeated girls while informing ultimate defeat outcomes. Dorothy questions Marcus about visibility achievement despite invisibility. Marcus declares complete bluffing while explaining perpetual vision absence. He adds visibility achievement only during sand movement through track observation. Dorothy declares Marcus' final fight identity while questioning beginning conception. Marcus calmly responds about ridiculous accident status. Dorothy expresses circumrex coincidence surprise while realizing situation stupidity. Dorothy laughs while declaring unfortunate Dell revenge failure, but fun game admission. Dorothy's body disappears while systems notify Marcus about final opponent defeat with additional 500-point awards. Tests conclude while systems congratulate Marcus and complete squad victories. Systems declare advancement reward enabling each player card, effect selection for skill transformation, with remaining card 500-point buyback costs. Luna observes system notifications declaring Marcus's additional title and reward reception for solitary four-player management. Rex, also observing notices, sincerely laughs while declaring Brother Marcus's dinner obligations. Marcus mentally rejoices about achievement unchanged status while adding cost-worthy rewards. Li Han informs Marcus about complete transparency regarding plans. Marcus declares Li Han's excessive strength for simple defeat while inviting permanent squad membership. Li Han declares Marcus's interesting individual status while promising consideration. 3 days following second-round recording repetition, presenters declare imminent third-round commencement. Martha, observing broadcasts, declares Marcus's incredible strength while adding a live burning regret absence. Also somewhere in real worlds, Dorothy tugs Dell's sleeves while declaring cotton candy desires. Observing her, he declares final rope twisting in Rex's. Sometime later, doorbells ring in Marcus's real-world apartments. He opens doors while observing complete team member visits with joyful greetings. After duration, Marcus and Rex decide fighting game confrontations while Rex easily defeats protagonists. Alice observes kitchens while questioning Luna and Morgan's cooking activities, offering assy Rex. Morgan responds that quiet sofa sitting already provides invaluable service. Luna agrees with Morgan's words while adding kitchen woman battlefield designations. Alice declares girl status but decides against argumentation. Luna mentally reflects about disbelief regarding Marcus's well-mannered girl meetings like Morgan. Morgan, meanwhile, secretly observes Luna while mentally wondering about identity possibilities. After duration, girls begin cooking while establishing luxurious table settings. Luna and Morgan exchange food quality compliments. Alice informs Rex about competitive spirit sensations while receiving less talking, more eating instructions. Marcus declares gathering purposes beyond delicious food while offering next-round discussions. Morgan declares Luna provided hearing about Marcus's next-round prediction capabilities. Marcus mentally notes rebirth downsides, including truth revelation impossibility, requiring excuse fabrication. Marcus declares simple occurrence analysis with level creator logic under Rexting, adding practice-based ease development. Hours later, Marcus concludes next-round discussions while informing departing guests about tomorrow night commencement. Rex and Marcus's other comrades declare tomorrow meetings while bidding farewells. Marcus informs Rex about girl overnight stay acceptance. Rex refuses while declaring tomorrow daughter accompaniment for wife grave organization and prayer. Marcus positions hands upon Rex's shoulders while requesting greeting transmission. Rex smiles while declaring wife happiness about friend meeting knowledge. After duration, he welcomes all players with third competition round commencement, while adding Iron Hoves and Endless Borders, designation where each player discovers personal heroic chaos periods under different personalities.